What's going on, everybody? Plate of food over there. It is Dune. Says, we ain't moving Doomsday. Beat it. We're staying here. We deserve to be here. We ain't moving. Smart, stupid. We're going to talk about it. Few other things going on in the world of movie news. Definitely going to talk about the box office. Avatar wins again. What's the overall chances of what it's going to make? And you know, this is the first show Roke and I have been on together in quite a bit, so we'll discuss some things, especially with the box office. So let's get into it. It's the Kristian Harloff Show here today on this holiday on Monday. Let's do it. Here we go. Great. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen, here on this Monday. Different start time here today. I'll explain why in just a second. But joining me on the show, he's been here every Monday. I have not. And that, of course, is John Roca. John, how are you, my friend?
How's it going, man? Good to see you, brother. Finally back together again.
I know.
You've been having me hold down the fort here, which I appreciate. Me and Winston having fun on Mondays, but it ain't the same without the two of us.
You've been doing great. I've been watching a lot of the, some of the conversations, a lot of it that I agree with, a lot of it I didn't agree with.
What a surprise! Yes.
But it was nonetheless it was fun to watch, and I'm glad that you guys were able to do that. So yeah, LA was a trip, man, going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oof, I don't recommend that to anybody in that short period of time.
Please, no thanks. I just drove to LA back and forth yesterday.
Yeah, that's enough.
And I'm wrecked today.
Yeah, you don't have the jet lag, Dave.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, there were various times on both trips, but more so on the second trip, that I forgot where I was. I didn't know if I was in New York or I didn't know if I was in LA. I was like, where am I right now? I'm like, oh, I'm in LA. Definitely.
Did I leave? Did I move from LA? I don't know.
But it was just like I couldn't remember. I'm like, where am I? Because I was and the time was all messed up, but nonetheless, back. A lot of stuff went down last week, obviously. We don't have to kind of dive too much into it because I'm sure we're both pretty exhausted by it. But over the weekend, holy man, you nicely tweeted at me when it came to, there was an article that came out about Filoni and this stuff. But people were just sending me stuff, and I was like, and again, I appreciate that you put me on, but I many times like, oh, I wish you didn't tag me on that tweet. Only because people kept putting stuff, and here's what I'll say about this, and I want to put this to bed afterwards because I'm tired of it, and I also I don't think people should harp on it. The first thing is that I hope Filoni is the answer. I really do. I hope he's the answer. I hope he's the guy that brings Star Wars back to prominence in the way that I hope Harbaugh brings the Giants back to prominence. Right?
Oh yeah.
I really do hope that is the case. And for anybody thinking otherwise, you're mistaken when it comes to, because I saw someone go, this guy don't watch his shows anymore. He just hates on stuff. Like, it's not the case. I'm a Giants fan. They have not been good. I'm waiting for them to get good again. And with the right moves, they can. Now I like this choice in Harbaugh as a coach, bringing him in. But there have been others in the past that I have not, and it hasn't fared well. Right. And there's other times that I haven't wanted people for coaches, and it has fared well.
Right.
So I don't know what this is going to be. But the thing that they keep getting tweeted at is this. And you can either put this to bed or don't put this to bed if you're out there watching and listening. I don't care. This is the last time I'm going to really talk about it. About 2 years ago, what I said was, I don't believe that Dave Filoni is a fan of Andor, right? Now, when I say that also, do I think that do I know that he thinks it's a bad show? Absolutely not. Never said that once, that it's a bad show, that the quality's bad, that he doesn't think that, it's Tony Gilroy, right? Does he think that the essence of what it is Star Wars? And does he think that what the essence of it is his belief of what Star Wars is? No, I do not believe that he thinks that. And a lot of different. So it's 2.5 years ago that I brought this up. He's just not a fan of that as a Star Wars project. Right. 2.5 years ago. So here's this announcement that comes in, and I see your tweet that tweets out that there's an article that comes out that says people have said, whether, I don't know, you can clarify after I go on this thing, that he wasn't a fan of Andor. And then all these people start telling me, well, if he wasn't a fan of this, I'm like, let me ask you, before you keep asking me that, I have no idea who this person is who wrote this article that John sent me. No idea.
You don't know who Drew Taylor is? Drew Taylor's been
I've probably seen him. I've probably seen him a few times, but I'm not like friends. I don't think if I've had a conversation with him, I'd be surprised. Or if I haven't had a conversation, or if I've had one or two, sure. But I don't know who the person is.
Okay, fair.
All I'm asking somebody to say is, if 2.5 years ago I was saying the same thing that Drew was saying in this article now, is that just coincidence? That the same? I mean, it's like literally the same thing. Is it just coincidence? Now, and then people start, my favorite is this morning, and I just responded with ha, 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 because I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. Someone sends me a clip of Filoni talking about complimenting Andor, right? He is the creative head of the company.
Yeah.
So here's an example I want to give to somebody. So John Roca's part of my channel. If John Roca started to do a wrestling show on my channel, and we hired him to do a wrestling show, he starts doing a wrestling show. And inside of it, he starts doing things in a John Roca way, whatever it might be, and the show is doing very well and everything too. And I say in my office here, and I say to somebody, it doesn't really feel like it's part of my channel. It feels differently. It doesn't really. I don't dig it in the way that people are digging. I don't see it that way. I don't like the show. I'm not a big, but whatever. Then I'm public, and people are going, so what's going on in your channel? Do you think I'm going to say, I don't like John's show? John's show sucks, and I'm promoting it.
Right.
And by the way, he never said it sucks. He never said Andor sucks.
Right.
Never once did I say that. I just don't think in its essence of what he thinks Star Wars is. And by the way, there's a lot of people that don't think Andor is Star Wars.
He's not alone.
He's not alone in that fact. Yeah. I'm just telling you that to me, it was like, oh, maybe we're not going to see that kind of serious type of Star Wars. So please stop sending me the stuff from Celebration. In no world is he going to say, well, what do you think about Andor? He's Celebration. He's gonna pump up as he should.
Right.
As he should. But so don't send me those clips. But I leave it on the table there and say, I root for him. I root for him. I root for him to win. I root for him to bring Star Wars back. Anybody who thinks otherwise that I don't want to, you're mistaken. I want the guy to succeed.
Yeah.
So that's my rant, John. Please, you go ahead.
Just to add to what you were saying right at the beginning with the Giants thing, no matter who's the coach, you want the Giants to succeed, right? Yeah. And so no matter who's running Star Wars, you want Star Wars to succeed. And that's like the underlying thing. And I think all the fans share that who actually legitimately care for Star Wars. You want it to succeed. Yes. Do you prefer, or do you think somebody else should be in charge? Or maybe you like Filoni being in charge. You're excited about it. That's all fair. We all have our opinions. But at the base level, if you care about the franchise, you want it to succeed, right? Where the battles come in is like, well, who should be running it? Why do I think this person should be? God, thank God Kathleen is gone. But we know this. Sometimes you get rid of a coach or a general manager, and the new one that comes in ain't as strong or is stronger and can take it to the next level. We don't know, right? And the whole thing, when I tagged you with this, it was just out of respect.
I know.
The one that clued me into it, but I hear you about. Sometimes I forget that, people take this thing and then go after you about it because they don't come after me quite as hard as they come after you because you have more followers, more subscribers, and you're more embedded in the Star Wars culture because of how all the years that you've done the show. But all I was saying was that when I was told, the first I ever heard of it was from you, and so Drew Taylor, who I know and have had on the hot mic before, and I remember, and I met him at the Collider offices, and I like Drew as a writer. He's a pretty credible guy. And if
I had no conversations with Drew.
Right.
About this stuff at all.
Right. You're not the source for Drew's saying the source. Right. Drew has his own sources, independent sources.
Right.
If Drew is saying the same thing, that means there is this feeling.
The same thing.
Right.
Not like similar. The same.
Literally the same. And so to me, that is an indication that yes, he doesn't think this kind of Star Wars is his kind of Star Wars. And people posting clips, y'all got to stop. He's a company man. He's getting paid.
That's what he should be doing.
He should be doing. Yes, exactly.
Doing that.
Exactly. There are in any job. Those of you who post stuff, you have jobs. You know that you can't talk shit about your job on social media because you'll get fired. There's no difference here.
But it's also bad business. It's bad business to say like. Well, Tony is doing a great job,
right?
In promoting it or filming in the way he does. But to me, it's not what George really put forward. That you don't get. That would be terrible.
Dave has never said, but he's never said anything negative about any of the Star Wars shows,
and nor should
any
he.
of the stuff.
No,
and that's the thing. So for people to post positive, it's like that's what he says about everything. Just like Kathleen Kennedy was really positive about everything until she decided to step down. In that exit interview, she had some comments, and even Rian Johnson came back at her and
this
said,
is what I was going to ask you.
Spooked.
This is what I was going to ask you. Okay, so this is again. So very similar to that situation, right? Because you never should get the real truth of what happened. And honestly, he should never talk about it publicly if he didn't think it was. He shouldn't, because it's a very popular show, and it won a bunch of awards and got nominated for a bunch of stuff anyway. So got nominated rather. So it's very similar to where, like, imagine if I would have said beforehand, from what I hear is that Rian Johnson didn't want just didn't like the online criticism. Right. He didn't like it. And everyone's like, well, he said he said he didn't bother him. And then Kathleen Kennedy comes out and says, well, Rian didn't like the online negative. So she's just her saying it. And then he goes, never spooked, not true. Who's lying?
Rian Johnson's lying through his fucking teeth, in my opinion. I don't think Kathleen would say that.
Why would she? Why would she say that?
Unless she had conversations with him and was essentially saying certain things, and so she felt that she had the right to say that.
Yeah,
but Rian to come out with the spooked thing, I think I think it's poor form by Rian to say that, because people have now brought up old tweets where he has gone back at people about their criticisms of Last Jedi and of other things, and so he's getting found out for not really telling the truth and looking like he was spooked by the criticism, angered by the criticism. And by the way, it's not
okay
a negative.
To be.
It's okay to be. Yes, I don't know why he felt the need to make this stupid stance.
I would when I heard, I was like, when she said it, I was like, I get it. That's a wave of, like, because look, the new Knives Out was one of my favorite movies of the year last year. It was in my top 10. Looper, the Breaking Bad episode.
Looper's great.
I'm a massive fan of Rian Johnson. I think I don't like The Last Jedi. I don't like that movie. But I still think people who go, oh, he's the worst, he did this, and you just forget. It's like, look, there's tons of people that, I like that movie. Yeah. I like the 5 of his movies that he did, an actor or an actress, but I didn't like that one. You can do that. You're allowed to. Yeah. But regardless of what I feel overall about The Last Jedi, that wave that he gets about being the guy who destroyed Star Wars and ruined it. Nobody wants that. I mean, look, I wasn't not to that extent, but when I was getting hit with all those tweets from people going, look, I'm like, leave me alone. I'm trying to enjoy food with my daughter, and I'm getting bing, bing, and I'm like, who cares? Yeah. And I had responded one time, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to talk about it on Monday and just never talk about it again. So if you want to believe it, if you want to believe that, and it's okay as a leader too. And this is another thing that I give him props also. If he doesn't feel that it's the essence of it, then good on him for saying, look, this is how I feel. And you shouldn't make it public. You should tell your people and whoever it might be, look, this is what I think. And there are a lot that he did good there, but this to me isn't really the essence of Star Wars. I just thought, because of the stuff, I happen to think it's some of the best stuff that they've done since, like, Empire, right? So to me, it's like it's a little concerning that's the case. Right. But who cares in the long run? As I said in the beginning of this, will the guy win championships for the team? And there's a lot of people who believe that he will. And there's no world where I'm going to go, oh, yeah, good. Fuck right. I'm going to say, go for it. And I will also say that I was wrong about something last week, too. Someone made a really good point. Okay. And I didn't think about it, because I said, look, and you and I have talked about this too. Okay. He doesn't really start, this is what we said, was he doesn't really start, like, the microscope doesn't until after Starfighter, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Someone brought up a great point. Okay. That's not necessarily true, because he has a major creative hand in both Ahsoka, obviously.
Yes.
And Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, yes, Favreau has taken the reins with it, and Favreau is directing it, and she produced it for sure. Filoni is a massive part of that show. He's a massive part of bringing that to life. They wanted to do a Boba Fett series, which Filoni said, well, we can't do a Boba Fett because of this and that, but we can do something else. So, and he worked with Favreau to develop that show and turn it into what it was. I mean, you got to give the man the credit on that. So he does have a lot of stake in the Mandalorian universe. I kind of brushed it off, and when someone brought up the comments, said, no, they're 100% right. not in the same way that he will once Starfighter is done and he's got the
Right.
movies that he greenlit and put it out there, but he certainly has a major stake in this movie.
Well, yes, because he's the chief creative officer for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. So he's one of the voices in the room. And he is the chief creative officer. So arguably you could say he's like a big dictator. But like Kathleen made it really clear in her interview that him and was it Pablo, the other guy, like they're their Star Wars encyclopedia guys, right? She didn't say Dave is really taking the step, but he has been spearheading all of these series. So I think he's in the room with Kathleen and other people and other creatives, and they're having conversations about things, right?
Yeah.
And if we're going to give him credit for that, you got to give him credit for how terrible the Acolyte turned out to be. You got to go, you can't just go for you can't just give him credit for the hits and not the misses. There's too many people, too many Star Wars fans want to discount all of Kathleen Kennedy's hits and only focus on the misses and want to give all the credit to Filoni's hits and ignore all the misses. That's not how this game works. You call balls and strikes fairly.
Yeah.
And so if he was a chief creative officer, that means he was chief creative officer for that third.
Yeah, I said that on the other day.
Which was
100%. 100%. I said the other day on Friday, he's given his notes on all of those things too, and he's been around long enough too. But someone had asked because they said, well, do you agree with Rocha on the overall grade of Kathleen Kennedy, which he gave a B-? And I said, well, I'm sure if you asked Rocha 2 different questions, he'd probably have the same answer as me, which was, it depends on how you're rating her, right?
Yeah.
Are you rating her as an overall, executive who made money and as someone as far as profit and that type of thing or are you ranking her as a Star Wars creative / executive? I think there's 2 different rankings there. I think for me, as someone, if I'm Bob Iger and I brought in someone to make me money as far as the production and money size monetarily, you can probably go to a B, because the loss still comes with the freaking Indiana Jones movie and and Solo and Willow and all that. Says loss. So B is solid. As a Star Wars executive / creative, I would say C- because because if you think about it, if the creative would have been stronger, that B that I just gave probably would have been an A, because Rise of Skywalker, if handled correctly, could have made 2 billion, 2.7 billion if they would have done it in the same way. They yes, you made billions of dollars with 4 movies, but how much more could you have made if the creative was better? So
I hear you. But I just think that you and I we were adults when those prequel trilogy movies came out. And yes, we know now everyone, like a lot of the fan base is like, they're amazing. But like when they came out, that was the death of Star Wars. Okay. Like the brand was dead. It was on life support because people didn't like those movies. No matter how many people try to retcon that shit now. I could cite you a number of articles in EW, Variety, THR, all those things back then who were saying that Star Wars is dead. Who's going to save Star Wars? How can we fix Star Wars? Talking about how terrible it was. I know the narrative around the prequels has changed now, but back then, that's the actual thing that was going on. A lot of and that's why George sold it. Fans were giving him shit about how much they didn't like the prequel trilogy.
True. That part's true.
He was tired of the crap, and he sold it. So, like, to me, that's like nothing says I can't take it anymore. Like selling your baby. He sold his baby because of all the fan abuse
for really cheap price too. By the way, $4 billion for that is
so. What Kathleen did, and which is why I give her a little more credit than you and other people, and I totally respect your points of views. Of course, I always understand so-called perspective and subjective. I think she took that brand, revitalized it, gave us Grogu, gave us Kylo, gave us Rey, gave us these other things that elevated it. Mandalorian Grogu, Andor, Visions. I like Bad Batch. Like, there's a lot that she did under her watch that was amazing. The merchandise sales, all of that, and expanded the reach of Star Wars into communities where Star Wars had not necessarily broken through. And so to me, this is where I think she deserves more credit for doing it. But yes, there were missteps. There were mistakes.
Yeah,
she brought back JJ trying to, you said, if they fixed Rise of Skywalker, she tried to do that by bringing back JJ. She heard the fans saying Rian was they didn't like Last Jedi. She heard the fans. Instead of sticking to her gun, she said, okay, let's bring JJ back. And she had
Trevorrow was the only one out of the 3 of those directors. Trevorrow was the only one to say, okay, well, you guys built this.
Yes.
You kind of gave me this, so I gotta write around.
I gotta work within it.
I gotta work with what I got. So I'll just take what you Rey's nobody, but she did, but this and Kylo's bad. So we'll keep him there bad. We'll do this and we'll combine it together. So what do you think, guys? Oh, great, you're fired. Let's do now. Everything else that was said, Jade is like, I didn't like that. So no, we're gonna bring him back. He's got to be redeemed. Everybody gets redeemed in Star Wars. And then same thing. Anyway, who cares? So we're
I just think she tried. She really tried to do something great with Star Wars, but she made some mistakes. I think that's fair. But she also had more hits than people are giving her credit for. And people dismissing Mandalorian or Andor or Rogue One. I mean, forget that she removed fucking Edwards and brought in Gilroy that saved Andor or Rogue One. Well, and if she hadn't done that, we wouldn't have gotten Andor.
And the counter, I guess, could be what kind of movie would have been if Lord Miller would have stayed on.
That's totally fair, and I agree with that. By the way, that's a miss. I think that's a miss.
Right. So 100%. But I don't disagree with you. There's a lot of wins with a lot of losses. Yeah. Anyway, okay, let's get into something else, because before we get into we've got a lot to talk about. We've got box office stuff we're going to talk about. We got other things. So I might as well just tell you guys now too. My oldest, I just got her a new mattress in a great company called Lisa, which you guys will hear about in just a moment. And I've been back in the gym. It was tough because of LA. I got back in, and I'll tell you about Mars Men. I'll tell you about both of them. Check this out. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to have a really good mattress to change your night's sleep. And I realized this when I got my daughter a Lisa, and it's got a soft upscale feel. She looks forward now going to sleep because of this mattress. Lisa has a lineup of beautifully crafted mattresses tailored to how you sleep. Now, each mattress is designed with specific sleep positions and feel preferences in mind. Lisa mattresses are meticulously designed and assembled in the USA for exceptional quality. Plus, they back it all up with free shipping, easy returns, and a 120-night sleep trial. Lisa's been tested and awarded Best Hybrid Mattress by New York Times Wirecutter and is exclusively featured by West Elm as their go-to mattress partner. It's not just about sleep, it's about impact. They donate thousands of mattresses each year to those in need while also partnering with organizations like Clean Hub to help remove harmful plastic waste from our oceans. It's a game changer. My daughter, who doesn't really pay much attention to anything except their phone and iPad right now, was like, guys, this mattress is pretty great. You want it to be great? Go to Leesa, LEESA.com for 25% off. Plus, you're getting an extra $50 off with that promo code Kristian, exclusive for my listeners. That is LEESA.com. You got to use that promo code Kristian for 25% off mattresses, plus an extra $50 off. Support the show and let them know that we sent you after checkout. That is also very important. Leesa.com, promo code Kristian. All right, so if you've been following my journey, I've been really hitting the gym for the last year or so, and making sure, as I get older, that I'm doing things right. And I was feeling the change as I was getting older, and everything that was easy beforehand, it just wasn't anymore. I don't really talk about it a lot, but I guess I should talk about it now. I think it started to really hit me about 5 years ago. And now, even as I was starting to work out, I could feel it. It didn't matter if I was eating well or whatever. I felt like sometimes I was just kind of, slugging along. And nobody really tells you about it as you get older. One day you're crushing it. Next day you're wondering why everything feels twice as hard. And I think some people your testosterone, it lowers as you get older. And here's the thing. Most men start losing testosterone around the age 30. About 1% every year after that. So when the new year hit this year, I was like, wait a minute. I got to feel energized again. I don't want to feel worn down. I got this pilot coming up. I want to really hit these things hard. So I keep it simple, and I'm doing something natural that supports my body where I need it. And that was why I was excited to hear about Mars Men. What is it? It helps your body unlock usable testosterone so you can feel like yourself again. Because what I learned about it was that your body makes testosterone, but a lot of it gets locked up and it can't be used. And there's a protein called SHBG. It basically handcuffs your testosterone. Even if your body's making it, SHBG locks it up. You can't access it. It's like having money in the bank, but your debit card is not working. So Mars Men is designed to help free lock testosterone so your body can actually use it. There's no synthetics, there's no needles, just real ingredients that help optimize energy, focus, and strength. What's great about it is there's now stronger physical performance, fast recovery from the gym, more consistent, natural energy. It's not like drinking a cup of coffee. It's a steadier sense of drive throughout the day. Supports healthy T levels, energy, stamina, 8 natural clinically dosed ingredients, made in the USA, and it's third-party tested. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk with that. So the worst case is you don't like it, and you get your money back. But over 91% of users report higher energy levels. Thousands of guys are feeling incredible results. Just check out the reviews on the website and go check it out yourself. For a limited time, our listeners get 50% off for life, plus free shipping, 3 free gifts at mengotomars.com. Perfect way to kick off the new year strong. That's mengotomars.com. You get 50% off and 3 free gifts at the checkout. So you're going to purchase, and then they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? You got to support our show, and you got to tell them that we sent you. Go check it out. Mars Men. Thank you to Mars Men, and thank you to Lisa. Very excited to have both of them on the show, and I hope, as I say all the time, that I give you guys good deals. And you guys got to check those deals out. You help out yourself, and you help out the show tremendously. All right, John. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, we got a lot to talk about in general, but we right now working on 16 questions. Pretty damn good to start off our first show back. See if we can get to a hundo today. Last week's winner was Steph. Which doesn't surprise me also because the people are coming in. New mama to be, Steph Sabra.
Of course.
So, all right. Let me bring.
I tried to get pregnant over the weekend. It didn't work.
Didn't work, huh? Yeah. Unless Junior. Come on.
Dude, Junior
Come
too.
on. Yeah, the outlaw. He's pregnant. So there's this Doomsday is it takes over the news. Everywhere now, like for a bit, people are like, nobody's really talking about Doomsday. Now it's all everyone's talking about is Doomsday. Doomsday. And then they were supposed to come out in May or June or whatever it was supposed to be last year or this year. No, this year. And then they go, nope, we're moving to December. Problem is, same day as Dune 3. So everyone's like, Dune's got to move. Dune's got to move. And Dune says, nope, not going to happen. So let me tell you this story. And this is going to be an interesting one, to say the least here.
Yeah.
I'm so, I don't know if this is ballsy, stupid, or both. Dune Part 3 ain't moving. Not moving. Right now, December 18th, 2026 is looking like the single biggest day on the movie calendar this year, as both Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday and Warner Bros. Pictures' Dune 3 will release that day. Currently being dubbed Doomsday, not just by the internet, but both Downey and Chalamet. Many are wondering if one of these films will blink and move. Warner's did lock in that date first, and now longtime box office analyst Empire City Box Office have made it clear that Warner's ain't moving. They indicate that Denis directed Dune film has exclusively claimed all IMAX screens for 3 consecutive weeks, something they won't be able to repeat for months. The one possible nearby release window that was looking thin was early November, was quickly filled in the other week with J.J. Abrams' The Great Beyond and Godzilla -0. The deal means there will be no IMAX screens available for Avengers Doomsday, at least for its first few weeks. Dune Part 3 shot major sequences with IMAX cameras where Doomsday doesn't appear to have used them at all. This is such a crazy and interesting story, and I love it. Right. Yeah. Because look, I root for Dune. I mean, I love those movies. I love the Dune movies. And I want Doomsday to do well too. I'm going to see both of them. You're going to see both of them. We're going to see the press screenings. We're okay. Right. These movies ain't cheap to go see in the theater. Especially IMAX. Now, but the question will then be, people are going to go, what about, Barbenheimer? So dramatically different. Because those are 2 different audiences.
Yeah.
In general, right? And what I said the other day about that one is what both of those, with the hype for Barbie and the hype for Oppenheimer, right? What it did was, when all of this press started coming out about, well, Barbenheimer and this and that, the people who wanted to see Oppenheimer and didn't realize it was coming out, but got word of it and more promotion through it because of Barbie. Right. Vice versa. Same thing. So like, I don't want to see this movie about Oppenheimer. Oh, Barbie's in. I'll go see Barbie. 2 different audiences. This is the same audience.
Yep.
This is the same freaking audience. So maybe it benefits, maybe it doesn't. I still think that Dune is going. I think Dune will be the better movie overall, quality wise. But I think it's going to get destroyed in the box office. I think it's going to get destroyed.
Yeah. Well, as always, your bias shows here because you're focused on just the titles. And this is about Florence Pugh that weekend.
Oh,
It's Pugh weekend.
sure.
She's in both
You're
of
right.
those movies.
You're not wrong.
And your bias against her lives on
Right.
because that's what we should be talking about. But no,
100%. I
you're
love Florence
absolutely-
Pugh, by the way. I do.
I know.
She just knows Julia Roberts. Go ahead.
Hey, oh, but no, this is a fascinating thing. And Jeff said this on the hot mic that whoever lands the IMAX screens is going to keep that date.
Right.
And so if we buy what Empire City Box Office is saying, and by the way, I don't know, we don't have confirmation from Warner Brothers or people at IMAX that is the case yet. If that is true, then this is a colossal misstep, I think, by Marvel, because people love to see these kinds of epic, massive films in IMAX. And to give away 3 weeks of that time where you could be showing your movie, which by the way, will have 75 people in the cast, to not put that on an IMAX screen, I think is a massive mistake. So is this the first kind of indication we have early on in the year already that they might push this thing? I don't know. Because not having the IMAX screens, we've seen a number of films come out, Kristian, that have made a lot of money. Now, IMAX is becoming a place where films, especially franchise films, can make a significant portion of their box office now. It's no longer like 1%. It's actually much more than that now because people want to go. And it's more accessible in multiple multiplexes as opposed to like one place 2 hours away from you where it was for a lot of time. So to me, this is an interesting indication that Dune is not moving. And I wonder how Marvel is going to react, or are they just going to go, well, screw it. We're just going to do what we got here.
Yeah,
we can do.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bulldoze through and say, okay, fine. We're just going to, well, you guys want to go for it? Let's go head to head. I think that there's two things there.
Yeah.
I think that Dune will not move. I did think that they would, but I think because they do have that advantage of having IMAX screens for 3 weeks. Now, Doomsday wasn't shot in IMAX, so you don't really need it. It's fun to watch.
Sure.
You don't need it though. Dune needs it. Doomsday does not need it. So I understand why they have to stay there because now they've lost their window of opportunity to keep those 3 weeks. So I understand it's not a matter anymore about Dune ain't moving. It should be called Dune can't move.
Yeah, they can't move now.
They can't move. So they're forced to go up against Doomsday right now. They're forced to.
This is going to be an interesting test case, Kristian, don't you think? Because first of all, it's smart to do it Christmas time because people are going to, they're going to want to go out. The family's going to be coming into town the week before Christmas and all of that. So they're going to want to go see this together right before Christmas and then after Christmas and what have you. So putting them out at the same time may not damage either box office. It may actually be an interesting test case that you can release 2 massive films on the same day if you time it out correctly, and they will each do bonzo box office for what they're at. And maybe Marvel gets more screens while Dune gets the IMAX screens. I don't know how that all works in terms of specific theaters, but that could be an interesting way of countering the IMAX situation that they're in more theaters.
Mr. Strange says that's not true. Doomsday is shot in IMAX. I just read the article. They said they didn't shoot anything in IMAX.
Yeah.
I literally just read that they just said it wasn't shot in IMAX.
Yeah.
Send me the article where it says it was shot in IMAX. You might be right, but the article I just read said it wasn't shot in IMAX.
And look at this other person. Aiden's like, stop underestimating Dolby Prime. Nobody is underestimating. Relax, buddy. We're just talking about IMAX. Dolby Prime is in play. No one's underestimating Dolby Prime.
But I think he's right. I think he's right where that's why Doomsday doesn't have to move because there's no world. There's no world where I think that, you know what? Because they got the dates. Dune's got a shot to win this thing. Dune's going to get crushed. You're going to get crushed.
I don't know. I guess you're right. I guess it will get crushed.
I'm not telling you it's going to be a failure.
No, I know. But Dune doesn't make $1 billion.
No shot. The second one, which was phenomenal, whatever it barely did. But that goes to my other thing, which we haven't been able to speak about since we talked about it.
Okay.
Speaking of the Christmas thing, I told you when we were talking about it, I said, don't count out that Sydney Sweeney movie just yet.
I know.
I said, because week 2, when it came out, I said, if the drop-offs traditionally during the holidays aren't that big. Avatar didn't have a huge drop off in week 2.
Right.
The Sydney Sweeney movie didn't have a huge drop off, and
At all.
it's able to build. So maybe Dune can have that, like you said, and be able to catapult itself into into a financial victory, which I think is very possible.
Right, because the last 2 came out right in summer, right? So maybe they're banking on the fact that these will come out over Christmas, and there'll be more time, as you said, in January for people to discover the film and ramp up its box office. But yes, Housemaid, whatever it's called, incredible surprise to me how well
almost $200 million. I mean,
yeah, I hope people don't discount that Amanda Seyfried is in the movie as well. I see already people are like, it's a Sydney Sweeney vehicle. It's like, bitch, Amanda Seyfried is in the movie.
I don't know who you won't give credit to more, Gunn or Sweeney. Who?
Oh, don't get me started on James. James going on thread this week. I'm not going to comment on casting rumors or status updates or whatever. All right, here's a whole threads thing where I'm going to comment on all of it. Okay.
Oh, it's so funny. You got. I think you're mistaken. I think Sydney Sweeney had a big part in this. I think the movie.
Oh no, I'm not saying she didn't. I'm saying stop discounting Amanda Seyfried.
Sure, she had a huge part of it.
No
as
one's
well,
talking about her, and she's built up a lot of credibility with fans.
Absolutely, especially in an Oscar. She's going to be an Oscar-nominated actress pretty soon.
So.
Possibly, she's going to get nominated for that role. I mean, she won't win. But she'll definitely get nominated. All right. So I guess the question then remains for you guys. What do you think? Should Dune move, or is it too late? Will they get crushed? Could they actually come back and make a profit on it anyway? So it doesn't really matter. Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.
Yeah.
Make sure you go into that Clips channel, man. We got almost 16,000 subscribers over there.
Nice.
My goal is to do like 30,000 on that Clips channel by the end of the year. I think we can do it. We just got to get to, let's see what you can do. So make sure you head on over there. We clip out this show every single day, but we're also on Spotify, so we do that. So check it out. All right, speaking of box office.
Yeah.
Let's get to some box office stuff because there's a lot.
Let's do it.
Another thing that we said is I remember, and this is why sometimes I get, it's like, it's a definitive thing sometimes make me go, don't do that yet. Don't do definitive things. I remember when I said, because after Avatar had whatever the first week or whatever, and you and I were talking, and I said, at this point, I wouldn't have said this beforehand, but I think Zootopia 2 is going to beat it. Somebody said, Zootopia 2 beating Avatar. Come on. Is what they said in the comments. And I'm like, it just from years past, I would have seemed like a lunatic for saying something like that.
Yeah.
But as I was going through the numbers with Avatar, it still seems to be hitting internationally. It's made about $1 billion internationally. It just has lost its luster here.
Yes.
And that's a problem. It didn't, I think it's like hit like 300 million, whatever it is. But let's take a look overall at this story here. And Zootopia 2 has now set a global box office record.
Yeah.
Disney's Zootopia sequel just hit a big box office milestone. The title has now pulled in 1.7 billion worldwide, overtaking the 1.69 of Inside Out 2. As a result, Zootopia 2 is now the highest grossing Hollywood animated film in history and the 9th biggest global release of all time, coming in just behind Spider-Man No Way Home, Avengers Infinity War. The film debuted just before Thanksgiving to 156 domestically and 559 globally over 5 days. More importantly, it has stayed a box office performer in the week since, climbing to 390 million domestically, 1.3 billion overseas, with almost half of that figure coming from China alone, 619 million.
China.
It's crazy. Disney Entertainment co-chairman Alan Bergman said this in a statement. This milestone believes first and foremost to the fans around the world whose enthusiasm made it possible. We're incredibly proud of filmmakers Jared Bush, Byron Howard, and Yvette Marino, and the entire team at Walt Disney Animation Studios, creating a film that connects so deeply with audiences everywhere. Zootopia 2 is an extraordinary achievement, and we're grateful to everyone who helped bring it to life. Zootopia 2 has broken many milestones, including being the fastest animated Hollywood film and quickest PG-related rated release to reach 1 billion globally, along with the second highest grossing Hollywood film in China. China's Ni Za 2 remains the biggest animated movie of all time worldwide with 2.25 billion. Holy moly. Okay. Let's also, I want to jump to the box office numbers.
Yeah.
So as we see that Zootopia is still playing, it was still number 3, which is pretty impressive overall. All right, let's see. There's the story here. This is Avatar is again the number 1 movie at 13.3. It's made 367 million so far domestically, almost 400 million domestic, almost $1 billion internationally. It will make $1 billion international, 955 at 1.3. That's Avatar at number 1. Then you get 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which did not perform at all. Yeah, bad. And it's disappointing because we can talk about the movie. And did you see it yet, John?
I haven't seen it. I'm seeing it tonight at 5:00, 5:15.
Easily my favorite Nia DaCosta movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen 3.
Oh, yeah, you're not a Hedda person.
I did not like Hedda. I liked Tessa in that. I did not like Hedda. I did not like the Marvels. I never saw Candyman. And I
thought it was good.
Yeah, and I missed the one that because I ran into Jeff Snyder when I went to the. Yeah, he's like, you should. Yeah, he said you should. Okay, you know what? It reminds me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
No, I'm going to give you a quiz. I want to give you a quiz.
Quiz.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a quiz.
Pop quiz. Hot shot.
I have given everyone this quiz so far. I'm going to give you this quiz.
Oh no.
So
Jeff Schneider.
Comes from, where does that come from?
I have no idea. I only know it from you. I have no. I only know it from you.
You proved me wrong. I said Roka will get that in a heartbeat.
No,
you don't remember where Jeff Schneider originated from?
Just you. I only know it from you. Where's it from?
You break my heart. The other,
I'm sorry.
Steph not getting it. I get.
Okay.
Roxy not getting it. It hurt me a little bit.
Okay.
But you not getting it shatters me.
I apologize.
Booker T. From the predictions he used to do on the Schmodown during your era, during the golden when you were the Hulk Hogan of the Schmodown. Like you were the guy at the time he was doing that. You were the guy. Roxy, I don't even know if she was watching on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Winston wasn't even in the league yet. Steph wasn't in the league. You were the guy, and you didn't know it. Breaks my heart.
I'm so sorry. Here's what I'll say. I was such an arrogant prick back then that I only ever watched Booker T talk about me and no one else. So that's my fault. I should have watched him do more of the promos for Jeff Snyder because you're right. I would have caught it.
Anyway, broke my heart. So I'm glad I cut you off by there, but I didn't mean to. Okay. But anyway, 28 years later, I ran into Snyder and he told me that I should check out her first movie. I really liked what she did in this. Yeah, I liked what she did in this movie. I really did. I thought she made it her own, yet kept the same style made it feel like it was still part of the franchise. But it doesn't matter because the movie only made $31 million. It cost about 65 or 70 million to production budget alone.
Yeah.
There's no world this is going to have a great. I mean, it only made 13 million. If it makes 5 million next week, I'll be surprised. Right. There's not a lot of shit coming out, so maybe it will. Zootopia 2, as we just said, still pulling in money. To give you granted, very different audiences, but Zootopia 2 came out in Thanksgiving, made only $5 million less than what 28 years later made. The Housemaid brings another 8.5. That movie has made 177 million worldwide so far. And amazing. Then Marty Supreme's almost at 100 million with another 5 million. So those movies delivering. But I think that there's two stories to me are 28 years later.
Yeah.
And the Avatar, because that's the thing I heard with you and Winston, right? So what I had said, and I was watching on the plane when you guys were talking about it, and so I do think that if you're Disney at a 1.5, you just kind of go, all right, 1.5, we made some money, maybe we don't do this franchise anymore, right?
Yeah,
I think if you hit 1.7, which they won't. But if you do, I think 1.7 is enough to go, okay, 1.7 is enough if James can get on the horse again and make things different in number 4. Yeah. We might be able to get back to 2. And we might be able to, because you still make it, because people forget that you still are taking profit out of the last one because they were shot back to back too. So you can still get with 1.7, you still got a shot to do it. It didn't have to make 2 billion. It didn't have to. 1.5 is, it's like maybe we stop, which is crazy. When you go $1.5 billion, you make everyone else making 1.5. I mean, Zootopia just made 1.7, and it's like one of the biggest animated movies ever. Which, by the way, as I say, and I will stamp it out again, stop betting against kids' movies. Just stop. If you make a good one, it's going to make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you disagree with all that? Go ahead.
No, I do think they should stop or bring another critic. What I said is, and I said this in my review, both solo and with the Geek Buddies and with Hot Mike, is like, you got to bring other voices in the room. I think James's hubris has served him to this point. But if he's going to continue with this franchise, he's got to do something more than colonizer bathe, colonize good. Like you got to do something more than that. And throwing in this soap opera stuff with the kids and repeating the same beats, it showed to me that a guy who was creatively bereft of what to do next with a third installment. I would hate to see what 4 and 5 are going to look like if 3 is like this. So that's my concern. I don't think enough people are in the room. He needs to bring more creative voices in the room so that he can create a bigger story, a more interesting story, a more nuanced story, because fans get it. And look, the fans showed up. This is your base. The 1.3, 1.4, this is your base. Yeah. But if you want 2 billion, you've got to deliver a better movie, a more interesting story, more interesting characters.
The magic trick isn't as magic anymore.
It isn't, because we've all seen it. And look, the visuals are great.
Right,
you can go and jack off to the visuals all you want. But people say, oh, nobody goes for the story. Go fuck yourself. People go for the story to get you to greatness.
The core doesn't necessarily, because like I said,
right. But the core is only going to get you.
I would see 800. I would see 800 of these movies. But I understand. But I understand you so far. Yeah. I understand your points. I think they're all valid, and I think that what you did say with that show with Winston last week that I agree with 100% is I don't know how much his heart's into this story anymore.
I don't think. Yeah, I think he's done with this.
Yeah, I think so. Because
creators will tell you. Yeah.
Another reason is too, if you have that kind of pressure in general, and look, we're not as old as he is, and we get tired staying up past 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right. And so he's like, I got to go do another one of these movies. And all the pressure now is on me again, because now I got to make $2 billion in order for this to be a success.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. And so and that's the other thing, is that now if it is declining, you can essentially go out. If it hits 1.5, and this was kind of my point earlier, if it hits 1.5 or 1.7, whatever, it's probably going to go in closer to 1.5. You can walk off and say, okay, first one made almost $3 billion or $3 billion. The second one made whatever it made, and the third one made, $1.5 billion. It's a big franchise. We're good. Bye. The problem is that if you keep going like that old boxer that fought good in their last fight, they fought really good, but there was still something that you could tell that the mechanics were off a little bit.
Yeah.
And in the next fight, they get knocked down or knocked out. You don't want that to happen to Avatar, because this is that people, if you're going to call it a failure, it's a failure. It made $1.5 billion, regardless of whatever the budget. It's $1.5 billion if it does that.
Right.
But it's similar to what we just said with Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
You can, if the next movie costs whatever it makes, and then it makes $1 billion or less, you're going to hurt the overall magic of what the franchise was, unless you get, you get some new juice in it.
X-Men Last Stand is the highest grossing X-Men movie ever.
Oh my God.
Do people talk about it in the reverential terms? No.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true.
I guess that makes sense, because it was following up X2, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And Ratner was directing, and Ratner was in the Rush Hour era. So it was like people were excited. Yeah. And it was not a good movie. I know there's some of you defend it, but it's not a good movie. But that doesn't mean, that you should continue doing it with Ratner or doing it this style. Right. The studio knew that they had a crap movie that just happened to make a lot of money. And they were like, oh, we're moving on from this, right?
Right.
Look at what people crowed about with Michael Bay. Cameron's better than Michael Bay. Fine. But like the idea, once the Transformers movies stop making money, they kick Michael Bay out. So, well, he's back now. We'll see what happens. But like when you look at Avatar, I think what James deserves a lot of credit for is creating a new IP in the middle of everybody rehashing IPs, creating a new IP in Avatar.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Totally. Yes,
you made billions.
Yeah.
Now I think move on into people want to see you do other things. I think another reason people didn't go mentally, subconsciously, is like they don't want to see James do this anymore. They want to see James challenge himself, do other things, explore other things before he passes.
Well, I think that's more of the movie. I think that's more of the movie audience than maybe. But the grand audience doesn't even remember half the time who directs these freaking things.
It's a fair point. The movie ball people, I guess. Yes. But like the thing is, but I think there is an opportunity here to bring in other directors to keep the franchise going. James EPs. It can be another Terminator. It could be another one. And James EPs it. And you bring James Wan said a couple of days ago he'd love to do an Avatar movie.
Right, you told me
That's
that.
incredible.
Yeah.
You bring in different voices
If they can do, depending on what the story is, because I want to see him go in different places. I would be lying, and I said it in my out of the theater reaction. There were a few times I went, "Oh, that's exactly like the last movie," and I said that like 6 times. It's like you got to change it up a little bit, and that may just be exhaustion. I would like to see him do other things.
A Pandora TV series on Disney Plus.
That would be great.
Really well done.
Yeah, but the problem is with him now too is that he and rightfully so, he has earned the right to spend as much money as he wants. Right?
I know,
and I don't think he should. I would love to see Cameron say, and I've said this many times, like, what if he was like, I'm going to make a $50 million Terminator movie. I'm going to make and a $50 million Terminator movie today would look like a $5 million Terminator movie back in like 84, So I'd like to see him make a really small Terminator movie with a small story and not go that, but it's not his business anymore. It's not his business. His business is this. And so we'll see what happens. But anyway, what do you guys make of all of the box office? Did you think that this was a big weekend, even though smaller numbers? What do you think of the numbers of Zootopia? What do you think about all this stuff? Put your thoughts in there. Please let us know. I say please. I say please. I say please. I say please.
Please, please. Please.
Thank you. So good. Please, please. Please. Okay.
Clarify that I said 1.7 billion is a failure. I want to clarify that. It is a failure.
What?
Failure.
No, it's not a failure.
Comparison, right? Now, I'm not saying it's a failure box office wise. I'm saying
okay.
Failure because the last one made 2-point-something billion, right? Rise of Skywalker is a failure because it didn't make $2 billion or 1.5 billion.
I think disappointment as opposed to failure.
Fine. To me, you're just split in terms of you don't want to hurt people's feelings.
No,
the truth is completely two different meanings. In my opinion. I'm saying in my opinion. That's the thing. My dad didn't
your
go,
opinion is wrong,
disappointment. Sir. He said you're a failure. And that's not, you got to get better.
That's those 2 different words, 2 different meanings. So. A disappointment is like, hey, we were hoping for this. We were hoping for this. We didn't hit this. That's a disappointment.
You failed.
A failure is like, we're in trouble. We failed. It's like we're gonna be in trouble here. Like,
it's disappointing that I lost the title, but I failed at losing I failed at winning the title. To me, that's splitting terms, splitting hairs.
I'm gonna agree to disagree on that one.
We'll agree to disagree.
If I'm looking at it, I go, look, all right, we want to make $2 billion. We didn't. That's a disappointment. I agree with that. But 1.7 is a failure. No, it's not.
If you, in my opinion, is compared to what you've
but
been
your definition is a little skewed on that one.
It is, but it's my definition.
All right. The John Roca definitions. Remind me never to get.
I'm hard on myself. I'm very hard on myself. So I'm hard on other people as well.
I know. I follow your Twitter. Yes. So let's see if there's anything else that we should discuss. You know what? We should let's go over. Well, there's 2 other things I want to talk about.
Okay.
Did you watch 7 Kingdoms last night?
I did. I really loved it, man.
All right, so let's talk about that because I got a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about with this one. Okay. Here we go. So there's this season on trailer. And I don't really need to watch that whole season trailer, but basically it debuted last night, series premiere. A series adapted from George R. R. Martin's novella, The Hedge Knight, a century before the events of Game of Thrones. 2 unlikely heroes wandered Westeros, a young, naive, but courageous knight, Sir Duncan the Tall, and his diminutive squire, Egg. Set in an age when the Targaryen line still holds the Iron Throne, and the memory of the last dragon has not yet passed from living memory. Great destinies, powerful foes, and dangerous exploits all await these improbable and incomparable friends. Okay, so I have seen. How many of the episodes did you see?
I just saw the first one because I'm taking it slow. I'm going to watch the whole season this week.
Okay, I've seen the whole series.
The first one was good. Yeah,
I've seen the whole series. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really enjoyed the whole series.
Good.
Now I will say this, even no spoilers.
Right.
I do think that I think this could have been a 5-part series.
Okay.
I think episode 6 should have been with 5 because after this was the longest episode. The first one's like 45 minutes. The rest of them are like 30 minutes.
Okay, that's even better.
The last episode should have been like a little over an hour with them combined. You'll see what I mean when it's a good episode, but there's a lot that happens in 5, and then 6 is kind of like, well, this is the wrap up and where we're going with it,
Right.
So what I'm kind of repeating myself, but for those people what I really dig about this, and like I literally just watched season 2 with Sam before we started shooting. Why we had to put the show late today. We just finished episodes 3 and 4
Right.
of season 2 of Game of Thrones,
Game of Thrones.
and how detailed and layered, and how many different stories there are, and bouncing back and forth with. You can, I mean, I think we spent no time with Daenerys in these two, maybe like a little bit of time, and then saw Robb Stark maybe, but then there's new characters in this, and I love it. I love that you do that. But then House of the Dragon is just about the Targaryens. You know, you'll bounce back and forth, but it's really about the Targaryen civil war. This is even smaller, where it's just about this dude and how he wants to get to this thing. He's, to me, the most noble character since Ned Stark, since Jon Snow, and he's that type of character that we haven't had a little bit in Game of Thrones. And I don't mind smaller, shorter episodes if they're detailed in character, and this series has that. So I really enjoyed the full series.
Yeah,
it's funny. 1 and 6 are my least favorite episodes, because once you start carrying in 2, 3, 4, and 5 are awesome.
Okay,
awesome.
Because is it 7 episodes or 6?
6.
Oh, it is only 6. Okay, I thought it was 7.
No, it's 6 episodes.
Okay, all right. So, I see. It says 7 on IMDb because it's season 2 is being worked on. Okay,
which makes sense. I mean,
yeah, I'm going to finish this off maybe even tomorrow. We're just going to rip through the episodes if they're less.
Yeah, it's like reading a little. It's like reading a novella. It really is.
Yeah. Well, and I read the review this morning on the Ringer, which I thought was a really good review. And they were saying how like it's the novella itself to listen to takes 3 hours, and the series is longer than 3 hours. So you've got to flesh out certain things, add certain context, create new scenes, new characters. So they've done a really good job in the first episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had so much fun with it. And I like that it's not so fucking dense. You know, for a guy who's been reviewing these from like way back in the Collider days to now, it's like there was so much drama in my head trying to make sure I got everything right and talked about everything and covered all the storylines.
Yeah, right.
It's exhausting.
That's right.
And this, I get to relax a little bit and just have fun. And I like this main actor.
He's really good.
I liked him in season 2 of Bad Sisters.
Oh,
so I like that he's getting to expand. Okay. And then the kid is amazing.
He's so good.
Amazing.
He's so good. Yeah, they're really good. And it gets deeper, and you see, and there is a lot of because when it starts and it's a lighter tone. Right, it's a lighter tone, even, and I'll tell you now. There's a moment that happens in episode 1. It's already out there right now. In the very beginning, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do it, and then they cut to a joke, and I was like, I hated it. I hated it. I thought it was a freaking Last Jedi lightsaber thing, and I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, this is what we're gonna get out of this. That goes away so fast, and then as the story progresses, I went back to that moment and went, okay, I like that moment now because it makes context. There's context to it. It makes a lot more sense in how they did it with the overall tone. Because it's a lighter tone. But as the story progresses, you're still like, oh, this is definitely Game of Thrones. This is definitely Game of Thrones.
It reminds me of what the sisters in the last season of Clone Wars, like you guys are up there fighting your battles about Jedi. Like we're trying to just live down here.
Right.
And so I like that this series is like, this dude is just trying to figure out his next meal. And so we're just following, because for him, that is the Iron Throne. Him getting to eat or him getting a place to sleep in at night that's covered, that is the Iron Throne to him. So the stakes may not be as high as we've seen, but they're high to him. And I like that as a new approach to the show or to the franchise.
What do you guys think of the show? I wonder how it's doing in the ratings. I mean, if it's this doesn't really necessarily ever mean anything. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it isn't. I look at reactions, right? I look at my reaction, look at other people's reactions to see, and usually if there's like a big swarm in the first episode, you're like, ooh, maybe this show's going to do really well. Mine didn't do very well. That doesn't really mean much. But then I looked at some other bigger channels, did okay. Is there a big interest in this show? I don't know. I don't know how the ratings are going to be for it. I don't, and as we were talking about before with disappointment versus failure, it's like, what are they looking for in ratings? What are they looking for overall in ratings for this show? With the cost couldn't have been as much for say like House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, obviously. So what signifies a disappointment or someone saying, yeah, this is exactly what we wanted to do?
It's number 1 on HBO Max in 14 countries over the weekend. Brazil, Mexico, and it's according to Screen Rant, it has become HBO's 5th most watched TV show
Great.
worldwide.
Okay, great.
So that's pretty
Great.
good.
Okay, so and I hope it does. I hope
Yeah.
it becomes one of those that just catches on, because I think what's going to really get people on board is what you just mentioned. It's those two actors in general.
Yes.
They're really, really good, and I
Yeah.
believe them in the roles that they're in.
Nice chemistry.
Great chemistry, but they also serve the roles of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Very much so, to where I'm like, oh, that's what you're supposed to be doing. I buy it. So yeah. Okay. So someone asked, how did I watch the entire 6 episodes? Because people still write this in for press screenings and things too. And you might be newer subscribers, and I have no problem answering the question. So John and myself are both members of the press. Now, when it comes to movies, we get early press screenings. So there'll be things that we'll probably see a week, 2 weeks early. Same goes with TV shows. Sometimes they send the whole season. Sometimes they just send episodes early, week by week. In the case of Game of Thrones, House of this or Kingdom of the Seven Nights, or sorry, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They sent the entire season for that one. So there you go.
We're about to get Wonder Man early.
I know.
And I've got Hijack season 2 early already from Apple.
Oh, did you really? Okay, so I'm that one I'm going to watch with my wife, because we watched the first season, and I'm going to watch that week by week. But Wonder Man. Oh man,
I'm hoping against hope, bro. I'm hoping against hope.
I just feel like from where you're going the same realm that that they did with Ironheart and what's the other one? The Echo. They dump it all. This is let's dump it all now, and let's just get to Doomsday or Spider-Man. It seems like they're going to say, and not to say they don't think it's going to be a good show, but it was greenlit in a time when everything was getting greenlit. When Marvel was like, oh, we can make any of these obscure characters that we wanted to.
Yeah.
And the hype for Marvel stuff was a lot bigger back then.
Right.
Ratings wise, I don't know how the show will be. It could be great. I just don't think I think this is going to be a disappointment.
We'll see. I'm hoping against hope.
I hope as well. I just there's just but I think there's no hype on this show.
No. Right. No. Zero. Absolutely. Like
Zero. No one's talking.
When the promotion popped up the other day, when I was watching something, I was like, oh, that's right. That's coming out. I was like, it wasn't even
right. I saw Ben Kingsley today promoting. He was on some show, and I was like, what the hell's he promoting? I'm like, oh, I forgot.
I don't know if you want to talk about this, Kristian. People in the chat are cluing us into something that Nexus Point News just dropped. Do you want to talk about it or not want to?
What is it?
James Gunn's Man of Tomorrow will reportedly feature Maxima as a secondary antagonist with ties to Brainiac and an eventual alliance with the heroes.
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea what you just said. What? I have no clue. You just said a whole bunch of names that meant nothing to me.
But no, a lot of people were speculating because the rumors had come out that he was looking for like a tough masculine woman or whatever. Well, not masculine, but muscular rather woman to play a role, and a lot of people thought it might be Wonder Woman, but clearly it seems like it might be Maxima. So,
I don't care. All right, so we're gonna go to this next story, and that to me is interesting in general because of where we are in streaming. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. Did you watch this one yet?
I have not seen The Rip. I'm going to see that as well this week. So
I could see you going either way with this movie. And I'll tell you why.
Jeff says he didn't like it.
Jeff doesn't like anything. I told him the other day. He
thinks it's everyone else's fault too.
Yeah, 100%. You should have seen him when we were watching 28 Years Later. Everybody was into it. That I was there.
Right.
This guy, 15 minutes into the movie, he's going like this. I'm sitting right next to him, and I got a kick out of it. But 15 minutes in the movie, this is him. Like he was not. Afterwards, he goes, "That was not good." That's what he said when he leaves. I was talking about. I don't know if I get a kick out of many people the way I get a kick out of him.
And why do I keep doing the show every week?
I'm telling you, I get such a kick out of him in certain things. I told him that when I saw him he came to the hotel last when I was there, and we had a couple of drinks. And I just told him they're very like I get nervous when I look at your Twitter. I get nervous when I look at Kalinowski's Twitter. everyone should be nervous when they look at Snyder's Twitter, but
yes,
but I look at it the same way I watch Game of Thrones. Like, because I know something's coming. I know something's coming, and I'm always like, "Ooh, he just told that guy to suck his balls." What's that?
But he keeps building. Like he's up to 50 something subscribers, 50,000.
He entertains me thoroughly.
But
it does. But I also told him he hates everything. He hates everything. So I can't. In the same way that I'm never on the same page with Bibiani, I'm never on the same page with Snyder. So when Snyder says he doesn't like things, now if he said it's generic, I would say I agree with you. It's generic, and you can predict what's coming a mile away.
Okay.
First of all, I like seeing them together in a movie.
Agreed. So I can't wait to watch it.
And I liked the tone of it. I like Carnahan. I like what they did. I enjoyed the movie. And understand the criticisms, but overall, I dug it. I thought it played. It's a great streaming movie, which is what we'll get into the whole kind of base of this conversation. So, let me read this here, and this is what both Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were talking about with movie attention spans. And so Matt Damon, Ben Affleck are out promoting The Rip, the action thriller, which just hit Netflix, and say that the way people are consuming films now, especially on streaming, is quite different. New film directed by Joe Carnahan sees the pair of team of Miami cops who turn on each other after discovering $20 million in a derelict stash house. It's appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience. Damon says films require a very different level of attention now than they did before to accommodate shorter attention spans and distracting viewing at home. As a result, it's impacted the way movies are being made. As they both have worked for Netflix, they use them as an example. The standard way to make an action movie that we learned was you usually have 3 set pieces, one in the first act, one in the second, one in the third, and the kind of ramp up to the big one with all the explosions. You spend most of your money on that one in the third, and that's your finale. And now they're like, can we get a big one in the first 5 minutes? We want people to stay tuned in. And it wouldn't be terrible if you reiterated the plot 3 or 4 times in the dialogue because people are on their phones while they're watching. This matches with prior reports that writers on streaming films have been reportedly told characters need to explain what they do in dialogue a lot more, tell along with the show. Affleck then points out one recent success story that broke that mold in the TV realm. But then you look at Adolescence, and it didn't do any of that shit. And it's great, and it's dark too, and it's tragic, and it's intense. It's about this guy who finds out his kid is accused of murder, and there are long shots at the back of their heads. They get in the car, nobody says anything. Affleck says that the series demonstrates you don't have to do tricks to keep people invested. The Rip, meanwhile, which scored a pretty good 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, is now up on Netflix. So intriguing, this conversation in general, right? Because this isn't just them saying it. These are things that they've also heard in meetings, right? And these are things that we've heard overall, but this is the things that these guys are producers, big producers, as much as they are actors, and directors, and a major director in Ben Affleck. So it's funny because I was sitting there watching this movie with my wife, and I paused it for a second, which kind of goes into a little bit of what they were saying there, where you can just pause. You don't have to follow the entire time. You pause, you can have a conversation. But the reason I did that is I turned to my wife and I said, how crazy it is that we're watching a Ben Affleck and Damon movie on streaming when it debuted. Like how it's like 10, 15 years ago. It's like, we're going to the movies. We're going to go see the new Ben Affleck and Matt Damon movie and going on a date, we're going to some dinner, and that was it. But because of this is the way it works now. And this is how you get actors like this, and you have the big premiere. Because another reason I was thinking, as far as promotion goes, they were promoting the shit out of this movie. Like everywhere, whether it was on Rogan or wherever they were everywhere. The difference, now you'd be like, oh, that's what they do for all movies. Sure, but here's the difference. When you're watching, let's say you see an interview with Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie promoting that big, bold, beautiful Journey movie, right? And they have some really funny viral clip that goes out. And you're sitting on your house, you're on YouTube, and you see that clip. The chances of you going, oh, that was really funny. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I like that sounds interesting. I'm gonna go run out to the movie theater right now and buy a ticket. Probably not that high that's gonna happen. Now. You're watching a clip on Rogan. This pops up. Affleck, and they're talking about this. You're like, oh, that's on Netflix right now. You literally just pause it and then turn Netflix on and watch the movie. That happens all of the time because it's all going like this. I bet you the numbers, promotion for me in streaming movies with stars like this, to me, way more beneficial than these ridiculous junkets for movies no one's going to see.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And listen, this is not, but no one should be upset about this because all of us do this. All of us get on our phones or our iPads or we open up our laptops.
Not for everything, but a lot of stuff.
No, of course not. But if you've done it even once, you can't be upset at what Matt Damon and Ben Affleck are saying because that's the reality. You know, only a person who's never opened up their phone or whatever to play around on Twitter or check their emails or whatever. Because if something has you gripped, you're going to pause it and look at your stuff. But if something doesn't have you gripped, you're just going to look at your stuff because you can get what's going on. Right. So this is actually a thing that that the streaming people understand, which is why Dexter Fletcher said this a few years ago as a director of Ghosted. He said, making a film for streaming is not the same as making a film for a theatrical release. There's two different techniques. And so you have to like reveal the exposition over and over again. You know, I think of the Dateline show on NBC where like every 10, 15 minutes, they repeat all the facts that you already heard 10, 15 minutes ago. It's because they know people are on their phones and distracted and do whatever.
I do hate that though. I hate it. I get it, but
I know we hate it. Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it because it's like, I think with the reason, the point that Affleck makes with like adolescence, right? I can't imagine in the overall scheme of things in comparison that adolescence cost the same amount of money that this movie did.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So when you bring down a budget, you can say, okay, look, we're not going to do the kind of promotion that this is a different type. We're going for that type of feel. We want people to, it's award stuff. It's a drama type. This is an action movie with two big stars. Repeat the plot a couple times so they know what's going on. We want them to tune in. I hate it. I get it, but I hate it. Because I was even I was talking to, there's this she must be 24 years old, friend of a friend, and I was talking to her about she hadn't seen jack shit for movies. She hadn't seen anything. She's watched Stranger Things. She's watching Emily in Paris. She's watching these types of things. And I said, well, mostly but Instagram and TikTok. She's like, I'm on it all the time, right? And so that's the type of thing that movies are not a thing for people. I understand totally from that conversation I had with this girl.
Right.
I realize exactly where the movie theater business is right now, like in general, like, because I said to her, I said, let me guess, when was the last time you went to the movie theater? She goes, I couldn't even tell you. She's like, I used to go all the time with my friends, but that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was like, at the time, 15. So like, it's such a different world now because of shit like this.
Yeah.
Where you can say, hey, we've got these stars. Hey, the stars are becoming bigger stars on streaming platforms than they are even in the freaking movie theater now.
Yeah. This is the game. And this is what they have to adapt to. And it's quick, man. It's happening so fast, bro. We weren't talking about this 5-6 years ago, and now it's happening all the time.
I know.
Hell, I was on my phone watching the NFL playoff games this weekend. Like literally was on my iPad, playing around, checking my email, getting on Twitter.
But to be fair, you weren't. But how invested were you in the games?
I was. I've always invested in playoff games.
Okay.
So I love watching play. But my mind now has trained itself to be distracted by a million things. So I have to kind of cater to it. So, but when it comes to certain movies, I don't like to. Like I wasn't on my phone for the Game of Thrones show because I know with Game of Thrones you have to pay attention to everything because you never know. Yeah,
it's a good point though. Like certain things but like I try to, when I'm turning things on, I really try to distance. I put my phone away. I charge my phone when I'm watching it because I don't want that to happen. Because if it's there, it's that addiction part of it, right? And you're like, oh, let me see if so and so and this, and especially with you tweeting me that thing this morning. I'm like, oh no, and I don't want to deal with that.
It was 2 days ago.
I know. And still, dude, this morning.
Wow.
I wrote back. Someone wrote another clip. Look at him to celebration. I just wrote ha 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 ha. Leave me alone. I'll address that on the show. That's enough. But when it comes to trying to invest in shows, I just sit down. Now I turn the thing on, and then I have big news. I can't believe I didn't lead with this, John.
Yeah,
I watched the first episode of Pluribus.
Oh, finally!
I actually watched the first episode,
and
it's really good.
I know it is. I think you're gonna like it.
I think that was never the case. It was never.
Yeah, I know.
I was just going up because you know what it was. Here's the reason why. For people going, oh, you said it. You said you weren't going to watch it because people aren't talking about it anymore.
It's true.
People aren't talking about it anymore. So I decided because I kept seeing Instagram posts about going to this event, and I went to this event and I took a picture of Rian Johnson and I got to watch the show. I don't care. I'm not watching it now. Not watching it. But now I'm like, I don't care. But now I care, and it was really good.
Yeah. I think there's going to be one episode that might frustrate you, but other than that, I think the entire season was exceptional.
Okay. My wife bailed.
Oh yeah.
Not that she didn't. Not she said it's a really good show. It's too stress inducing for me. She's
hey,
like,
that's fair.
Yeah,
totally fair because it doesn't get better in terms of the stress.
I figured. She said she watched the first episode with me, and then she was like, I'm not. I just can't. She's like, I can tell where this is going. She said, that's my worst nightmare. She's like, I can't. I said that's fair. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so what do you guys make of this debate? Is it a debate? I don't know. I don't know if it's a debate. I think it's just the way things are. Please tell me. Please. Want to know. All right. We're going to move on. And we're just talking about NFL. We're just talking about football. This definitely a time for prize picks. Big game's almost here. No better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than prize picks. It always feels good to be right. And since the big game's right around the corner, that also means it's your last chance to get into the football action before the next season. So close out right with prize picks. You get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. So it's pretty simple, is why I like it. I've been telling you about prize picks, and it's available. You download the app, you've been playing it. Look, check out where it's available. I've been playing it, so I've told you this beforehand. I had a friend didn't even know what a first down was, started playing on prize picks. Now, every Sunday, talking about the lineup, and now, especially with the big game coming up, getting really pumped. It's exciting, gets everybody amped up every time you watch the game. So the favorite thing for me about prize picks is you can pick multiple sports in the same lineup. With basketball back, you can put LeBron and Patrick Mahomes in the same lineup and root for both. I love that you can find your community on Prize Picks with the new social feeds feature. You can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups from winners with a single click. You copy lineups you like or use them as an inspiration for your own picks. You can even follow Prize Picks partners like us and tail or fade our picks with just one click. So a lot of fantasy leagues are already over, but with Prize Picks, you don't have to wait until next year's draft to keep playing fantasy. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week, even in the playoffs. You pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. There's no draft required. You join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 sports picks app. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use that code Kristian. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Use that code Kristian. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It is good to be right. Thank you to Prize Picks. Really appreciate it. Again, links in the description. Make sure you check it out. It helps out the show tremendously. So do it. All right, John, we got 43 questions.
43, let's go.
I'm back.
Let's get it to 100. Come on.
Can we get to 100? I think we can. Before we even do that, a lot going on in the John Roca channel. What do you?
Yeah, the John Roca channel. Head on over there. YouTube.com/John Roca says. Come and hang out with us. We got a lot going on here. We got tomorrow. Spill the Tequila, Geek Buddies. We got Hot Mic later on this week. I'll be doing some live shows myself this week as well. And we're definitely trying to line up a new episode of our Star Wars show to go in depth on the Kathleen Kennedy situation. Might even go live on that one to hear from you all to see what you all think is the next step forward for Star Wars and Lucasfilm and all of that. So a lot happening there on the channel. Head on over there. Don't forget the Cinephiles, my podcast that I do there. We just recently talked about second screens, but we also are jumping into our season of Rob Reiner. We're covering it's When Harry Met Sally starting this Friday. So yeah, thanks, dude.
You got it. Go and check it out, guys.
Please.
All right, let's get into the 43 questions so far. Again, can we get to a hundo? We shall see. Got Mike and Roxy nipping at the heels already, and they're not even here yet. Mike will just be in here and he'll try to be intimidating. All right, relax. You're not even here yet. All right, let's get to the first one.
All right.
Bing Bang OT4. Is Timmy the greatest Gen Z actor? Who's his competition?
I mean, if he's getting an A24 movie to break box office records for A24,
competition. Guy gets nominated every time he does a movie.
Yeah.
Who's his competition?
He's the new DiCaprio for that time.
Yeah.
For that time.
He is easily there's as of right now, there's who's his competition?
Maybe Pugh, maybe Florence Pugh on the female side, but she's not getting Oscar nominations all around.
No, not nominated. She's in big movies. She's in huge movies. She's box office. She's definitely but he's a bigger star.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
He follows it up. want more prime Luke movies or shows? Skywalker, not necessarily. Look, this is what I said about that the other day. It's like what I don't think should be a definitive thing is no more Skywalker stories or no more this or just do that. What works for the overall narrative of the story? Like to me, I think Luke is better served when he shows up in moments like he did very well in that was it Mandalorian season 2 at the end. That type of stuff works really well. I think that it's silly if you ignore the fact that he's there in that time period. He's the most powerful Jedi in all of that time period. So if you're doing that time period, to not involve him is because of some mandate or narrative is stupid. But I don't know about a full-on Luke movie. I don't think you need it.
I think I think this idea of no more Skywalkers, no more from that time period, I think that is dead. I'll be honest with you, because I think Filoni, who is tied to Lucas, and I think Lucasfilm itself and Disney, I think they want to bring us back to the original trilogy.
Okay, so you think that was a Kennedy mandate about the Luke thing?
Yeah, I do think they wanted to move on to create new stars, and I think that's also buoyed by Iger. But I think Iger sees now, 10 years later, like we got to make changes. We're going to put Filoni, who's connected to Lucas. We're going to go back to what the boys want, which is George Lucas stuff. The Galaxy's Edge changing to bring in John Williams' music, bring in Darth Vader, bring in Luke and Leia and Han. That is not a surprise. So this feels to me like we're going back big time to original trilogy stuff. And everyone who doesn't want Skywalker stuff, you're going to be in the minority.
Business is
that's
business.
The approach. Yeah, this is business. Nostalgia sells nowadays.
Big Bang. Grogu is Jedi Grandmaster versus Force Ghost Palpatine trillion 100 years, maybe. You never know. What is that little green fool doing here? Daniel Rami, TP4 on. Bone Temple is a masterpiece. Roke, review. I'm not going to say, I think people throw around the word masterpiece too well. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
I hope so. I want to enjoy it.
I think you really enjoy it. Did you like the last one?
I thought the last one was okay.
I didn't like this one.
I didn't think it was that great. So we'll see.
It's got a Clockwork Orange feel to this one. In certain scenes, you'll know what I mean when you see it.
Okay.
But
I like that.
Yeah, but
more Ray Fiennes is never a bad thing.
Ray Fiennes is great in this one. Ray Fiennes is great. Carl Rudder, London Calling, saw Predator for the first time. It was really the first time ever. Love Steph's Watch Along and Cinephiles Steps back in 2021.
Thanks.
And so wait, Watch Along Cinephiles. Oh, so you did the Cinephiles app back in
on Predator. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
And great CF episode to start Rob Reiner's season. Cinephiles episode.
Thanks.
Okay, great. Yeah. That's
thanks,
awesome. I think he's your biggest Cinephiles fan. I do. No, he's always promoting it. I love it.
We got a lot of people. Thank you.
I love that. Mike Joyce. I just watched Dazed and Confused and was surprised to see young Ben Affleck. Oh, yeah, massive role. Have you been surprised to see a young, prominent actor in an early role? Definitely. I mean, even when you go back, when you hear that, like Sam Rockwell is in the Ninja Turtles, like the original one. That's a great one to see. There's always, you do like the searches on them. It's pretty good.
I've always been addicted to movies, and I'm old, so I saw everybody when they were starting out. But what I always get surprised by is when I watch old Law and Orders and actors pop up on there who are like bigger actors now in small roles. Like Idris Elba had an episode. Pedro Pascal was in 2 of them.
Yeah,
so it's always fun to see how young and babies they were starting out.
That always happens to me. Oh,
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver for sure. You know, it's funny because when Mike mentioned Ben Affleck in Dazed and Confused, I said, who the other day I was watching something and I wanted to make sure it wasn't someone we knew, and it's not. That I said, like, God, that person reminds me of Ben Affleck in Dazed and Confused, like that. You know the character well, right? Ben Affleck's character. That's Hardcore Holly in WWE. Like he's 100% young. That's who he is. The way he was to like young wrestlers, and he's Ben Affleck in Dazed and Confused. He was guys, and like he's just like, come on, guys, and when the guys weren't, like, he's talking shit about like Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, but he's like, yeah, Steve was one of the boys, now he's not anymore. It's just like, what's Hardcore? Oh, he's beating up the freshman again. Hardcore Holly did. It's hilarious.
That guy.
Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw. Y'all didn't find it weird when Will Byer said, I don't like girls? Lockjaw came behind him and said, you like black girls? I love them. Just love them. I'm so shocked that he's getting shut out so far.
I know.
Crazy. Crazy.
I usually don't go the conspiracy route when it comes to award shows, right? but I just can't help because like Jeff on Hot Mic was kind of crazy the other day and was like, I think people only liking Bone Temple because they don't want to say anything negative about a black female director. I'm like, just cut it out. They just destroyed her for Marvel, so cut it out.
You can combat him with that if he brings that up again.
Yeah.
I went into it going, I'm not a Nia DaCosta fan. I do not like her movies, and I went out going, good movie, best movie of hers so far.
I love Jeff, but sometimes he goes a little crazy.
That's a silly take on that one.
But like this, I think it's because there's a lot of liberal progressives in the voting bodies. And I think they don't want to reward this character because they don't like what they're seeing going out. And I wonder if that's an element of it. Like, I just wonder, right?
Who's he losing to right now? He lost? Oh, he lost to Jacob Elordi at the Critics' Choice Awards. I couldn't.
Yeah, Jacob's great.
That's crazy. He was great. He was great. But I don't think he was better than Sean Penn.
Yeah. And then people are like, Benicio.
Well, so wait a minute. So you know what? Someone at the table brought this up too. You know what it is? I think they're splitting the votes, dude. That's what I think's happening.
Maybe.
I think they're splitting the votes.
Maybe, but who's going to get nominated for the Oscar? I don't think they're both going to get nominated. I think they'll be surprised.
If they do, then neither one of them. Jacob Elordi might win that too.
Maybe.
And as I was telling you, look, I really thought Rose Byrne was extraordinary in If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You.
Yeah.
There's no world that movie should have been nominated for a comedy, which is ridiculous. That whole category should be eliminated. It's the stupidest category ever. So there's no chance that she wins. Like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
That's
no, I think there's 4 locks. It's Jesse, Chalamet, one Battle After the Best Picture.
I would have told you the Chalamet was not as big of a lock a month ago, but I happen to agree with you.
Yeah. Those are the 4 locks.
What was the third? I heard you, PTA.
One battle for Best Picture.
I hope you're right.
PTA for Best Director.
So the only reason that I just don't trust the Oscars, because sometimes they do this ridiculous thing like it's winning everywhere else, and then they just out of nowhere a different movie wins. So it's the one time I've been really rooting for the movie. It was my number one movie of the year. Like I really hope it wins. I don't know if it will.
Yeah, we'll see.
No. One Battle Through Another.
Oh, it's number one. Yeah, it's my number one.
It's my number one. Jesse, that was the only thing I was bummed about. Normally, when I go to the Critics' Choice Awards, and I said if I'm going to talk to anybody, I usually like the one year wanted to talk to Paul Giamatti, and it wasn't even about his movie; it was about UFOs. And I'll go and I'll say, I'd like to have a conversation with that person. And the only person I didn't really make the move to go talk to at the table, partially because I was old and sitting down and didn't want to get up, was Jesse Buckley.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the greatest acting performances I've seen in such a long time.
100%.
Such a long time.
Hands down.
Yeah. I think Affleck or someone was talking about her on, was it Affleck or who was it? There's someone on a Rogan clip I saw recently. Oh, no, It was Bradley Cooper, I think, wasn't it?
Oh,
who was it? It was somebody that was on recently. They were talking about, it might have been Bradley Cooper, talking about Jessie Buckley and just what she did and how she, like the range that she went, like that. It was a masterclass. Remember I was sick and I was texting you. Yeah. I had texted you and I was just like, I was dreading going into that movie. Remember, I texted you. I'm like, here we go with this. You're like, no, dude, watch it, check it out. It's like, you see what she does. And I texted you immediately, and I was like, dude, that was. I had never seen a performance like that in such a long time.
It's a force of nature.
It really is. It really is. He follows it up. Isn't it insane of right now? Sean Penn has won 0 awards. All wins for Skarsgård and Benicio. Is it because he has 2 Oscars already? I'm telling you, I think he's splitting the votes. I don't think. So Skarsgård and Benicio. Did Benicio win? What did he win?
I don't know if Benicio won for best. I don't think he has.
I don't think he's won yet.
I think maybe he's insinuating that Benicio's been nominated over Sean Penn in these critics' places.
Oh, maybe because Elordi won CCA. Golden Globes with Skarsgård. Is that who it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Makes sense. Crazy. Colonel. I almost deleted his comment. I didn't mean to do that. So Josh was the more talented Safdie. No, just because they're both. They're both really, really talented.
It's a marathon. It's a marathon, not a race.
100%. Callum Pritchard.
Movie,
yeah, exactly. Who brings all the aura and is the bad MF of 2026? Doom, Odyssey, Paul Atreides, or T. Shelby? I think an aged up Chalamet as a Dark Paul will be the most. That's what I'm looking for. Dude, I'm like, people forget that Dune is essentially where, a big portion of it is where Lucas got the deal for the idea for Star Wars. You look at it, all the Force and all that stuff, and I think that Atreides is essentially Anakin. Where he goes from, where you leave off in that last movie into where are you going to go with him now?
Yeah, the question becomes: are they going to do that? Like how. And I think Chalamet will do it, but you know how actors can be real protective of their brands and like, well, you could turn me into a villain, but make me a likable villain, like a charming villain, like
but I don't see him doing that with Denis.
Yeah,
he's also a guy who just really values directors.
I know. That's why I don't think it'll be him. Doing that, but maybe.
Yeah. Greenie from Oz. Well, who do you think? As far as I mean, I would say that previous question, I would say probably Chalamet.
Of those, I guess I would say Chalamet, but I don't think we've seen the true boss yet. I don't think we've seen it yet.
Greenie from Oz. Curious how Filoni became George's chosen one back in Clone Wars days. Not too familiar with his background. He must have a high midichlorian count. No, he was real big in the Avatar Last Airbender. He ran that series for, I think, Nickelodeon, and then they brought him over and recruited him for the Clone Wars series that he was working on. And he was always a big Star Wars guy, and he just sat and he listened. He became and he just worked with George. George was very involved in that animated series, like very. So and he just took a knowledge in like a sponge, and he really did. And I still think his biggest strength. I think Filoni is a fantastic storyteller. I think he's a very good storyteller. I think he's an amazing artist, animated artist. I think he's an amazing animator. I wish he was running the animated department because I think they need more of that stuff. But overall, it's just I wonder if he can let go of that grip. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. I'm telling you, as I said when I opened up the show, I am rooting for him to win. I'm rooting for. I went back and forth with the guy. I actually DM'd the guy because I was like, I don't want to do public stuff. And I said, listen. Because he said that I don't watch your stuff anymore because you're just negative on Star Wars. And I said, people misuse negative and hatred all of the time. And in the same way they were done before, disappointed, other stuff I said, and I used the Giants analogy. I said, look, I'm rooting for him to win. I want them to succeed. I'm rooting for I want Star Wars to be good.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, Lockjaw comes back in. Rank Safdie's from best to worst. For me, it's Marty Supreme, Uncut Gems, Good Time, Smashing Machine. Curious if Benny will get back with his brother. I would say, for me, I would go. I got to finish. I haven't seen all Good Time. I need to finish it. I started. So I would, but from what I've seen, I'm going to go Marty Supreme, Uncut Gems, Smashing Machine, and then Good Time. But that's not fair because I have to finish Good Time. How about yourself?
Yeah, I would say that's about the right ranking for me.
Okay.
Because I think Good Time is a better film than Smashing Machine. And he got a good performance out of Pattinson in that, I think. And then, we'll see. They'll probably get back together. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah,
but,
right. Exactly.
All the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Were they fighting?
Jeff was alluding to there being some issues.
Oh, okay. Okay. Dr. Zeus 702. I look forward to the eventual Kathleen Kennedy tell-all book for her time at Lucas. Until then, we're all just guessing and speculating what went down behind the scenes.
No,
right? Sometimes
no, Zeus. We Zeus. There are those of us.
That's true too.
Know people who are working with these people, and there are people who sit behind a computer at their house who have no connection to anybody. There's a difference. Now, I think overall, trying to lump that shit. It's
I understand. Look, I think you're right, and he's right at the same time. Right?
Okay.
You're right with everything you just said because, like, for example, it's not just like I didn't just decide one day to go. You know what? I don't think Filoni likes Andor. And then I just started saying, right. I think, you know what, from looking at it, that's what I think. And then Drew 2 years later writes the thing. That's not like just speculating and guessing. That's not.
Right.
But I'm not saying that's what Dr. Zeus is alluding to. I don't know. But then again, there's a lot of things that we talked about. Like, hey, who knows? Maybe behind closed doors, they said this and they said that, and that is speculating. So he's not wrong there. But if that's what you're saying about it just he didn't say enough in that super chat to maybe say what he means.
I just think it's like I listen to Adam Schefter because he has contacts within the NFL,
right.
And he is right a lot of the time because of those contacts, just like Jeff is, just like Kristian has, just like I have in some areas, not a lot of areas compared to these guys, but like I do. So it's like this idea that we're all just in the same boat is nonsense.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know from that particular if that's what he was saying.
Well, I just want to clarify that if he was.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Lockjaw, where's Pulp Fiction with Ming? I don't think we're going to be doing that one.
Wow. Really?
He saw it. He's seen it already.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's the only Tarantino movie that he's seen. And then the other two did okay. Like the Reservoir Dogs and True Romance, they just did okay. So I think, I'm trying to put stuff. Like Sam. I got Sam going to be working until 2028. Right? We're doing all Game of Thrones. We got the X-Men movies coming up. We got all Star Wars movies coming up. We got Harry Potter, Hobbit. We have so much stuff for Sam. Like she's going to be busy for a very long time. Ming, I just got to get things. Same thing. Ming, Tina, Steph, Winston. I have to switch things up because it's like I can't just put the money into it where it's not delivering. Oh, and I have to push back on something you said the other day.
What did I say?
And you didn't know this, and if I said this, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You said the other day when you and Winston were on together, and I wasn't there, and you said, well, you know what, guys, the money that's coming in for super chats doesn't come in to me; it comes in me and Winston. It comes into the channel. Au contraire, for that day, those super chats. How do you think I pay for the two of you? In general.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not the only reason,
but I think some people send in super chats in a personal thing. They're like,
sure,
100%. Send it to John or Winston. I'll send it to Roxy because I like her. And it's like
right. But what I mean is because I was even talking to Luke about it. Like to me, it's beneficial than when I do me and a guest, one person, because then it's like okay, come in, money from the ads, everything, and then the super chats, everything too. That signifies two people is starts to.
Of course,
you got to have big days. It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. But there's other things that go with that. But you are contributing when you're putting the questions and everything too. You're always contributing towards the hosts that are on there. But them winning is added to that is an extra bonus. So, but as far as Ming goes, I'm probably going to do. I think Kill Bill. I'm going to try with him. And we'll see if that works.
Have you done Once Upon a Time in Hollywood yet?
If Kill Bill 1 and 2, if those hit, then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would be next.
Okay. Because I would recommend you jump into Once Upon a Time. Unless you're going in order for a reason.
Well, the reason I'm waiting for that is because because the sequel's coming out soon.
That's smart.
So I'm waiting to get closer to the sequel before that happens. Yep, totally. But I mean, like Winston, there's so many war movies that Winston hasn't seen. And I'm going to try like Saving Private Ryan. He's never seen that. I'm going to try Born Identity. Steph has never seen those. Yeah. And if they don't do good, then you move on to the next thing. You try to see I'm trying to find the series and things that work for them in the way that the things work for Sam. So, all right, next one. Eddie, Alidia, 9315. Rewatched Thor 2. Not my favorite, but the Frigate Funeral is beautiful visual. Hopkins phoning it in. Would love to see serious version of Crow Zeus. I'm in the rare minority. I like the second Thor. I watched. I remember watching it the first time I saw it. I dug it. I remember watching it on a rewatch. I dug it. I remember watching it. I just watched it again with Sam recently when we did our MCU watch. I dug it. Yeah. There's some stuff that doesn't work, but I mean, compared to some of the other shit bombs that are out there in the MCU, I don't mind it at all.
I think there are some beautiful moments in two, especially between Loki and Thor and their relationship and how it's progressing after Loki's found out that Odin's not his real dad and all of that. Like but the connection he has to his mom. Mm-hmm. So there's elements of that really works. And even that scene at the end where they're trying to trick Christopher Eccleston's character, there's some real brotherly love going on. So I think there's a lot to enjoy about Thor: Dark World. Although it may not be the greatest, I think it's certainly a watchable, fun Marvel movie.
I liked it. Battery, Ivor Feet. Revenge of the Sith made less than $50 million in actual profit. Fail. Is that true? How much did it cost to make?
I don't know.
Was it? He might be right though, because didn't it cost like $600 million to make?
Is that a prequel? Is that the prequel one?
Revenge of Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought you said Revenge of the Sith.
I know. I meant Rise of Skywalker. I know that's what he meant.
It's ROTS. Right?
Yeah. Revenge, Rise of Skywalker.
GRS rather. Yeah.
I heard. He might be right though, because didn't it cost like $600 million to make?
It was like $1 billion, wasn't it?
To make?
It made $1 billion, right? Didn't it?
It made $1 billion. It made $1 billion, but how much? Did
it cost like it. So it costs. The budget was $600 million.
and it only made $1 billion. So
Yeah.
so maybe it did. I mean, that's not too far away from the Avatar situation we're talking about. So did it? Was that a win financially for her?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Wikipedia
don't know.
says 593.7 million gross, 489.9 billion net. So that's what. So that's the situation there in terms of budget. So
So maybe a good point made there. Greenie from Oz. Reckon you'll do a Dust Till Dawn reaction. If Ming doesn't know anything about the zombie twist at the end, that could make a pretty epic reaction. Maybe. That one might be one might be fun for him to watch for sure. Probably he there's no way he's seen that movie. He hasn't seen he's like Sam, he hasn't seen shit.
if I could recommend that to you to do it right around the Oscars time, because a lot of people have come out and said that like Sinners is a bit of a ripoff of Dust Till Dawn. So if you guys do it around that time, you can have a conversation about the comparison between the two.
Oh, I see the comparison.
Suggestion.
It's a significantly different movie.
I agree. I'm just saying
minus the overall, but where it goes at the very end and the essence of what I see why they would compare it, but very different characters in general.
I agree.
Similar situations. Yeah, I mean, but they're different genres. They're different. I mean, they're real vampire films. I get it, but one's supposed to be an over the top kind of schlocky thing, and with really unlikable characters. The other one's like a hardcore drama.
Yeah, one's a grindhouse film and one's an actual
100% and intended both great for what they're intending to do.
Right.
Gopal, support this MLK Day 100%.
Thank you, Gopal. Yeah, happy MLK Day.
Yes. Nathan Drake, 2 possible future movies to choose from, and which makes more money? The next Bay, Transformers, Avatar. Avatar 4 would make more money.
Yes.
Now the question is what would make more profit, depending on how much it costs to make each one of them. But Avatar 4 is always the movies are always going to beat. It's still going to be the second highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah.
It is. It was right. It was the second highest grossing movie of the year.
Disney made $3 billion over Christmas with Zootopia 2 and fucking Avatar. $3 billion.
Crazy, right? That's why when we were talking about how Warner Brothers was winning. Now, do we know who won the entire year? Was it Disney because of those 2 movies?
They've said that. I don't know.
I don't think they've said it yet. But
like, can you say that there's no counting the money?
It probably maybe so because it does.
I've been told.
Well, I'm just wondering like how that ties in, right? Like, does the overall gross scope be like even though they're making the money in January, does that count as the entire theatrical run? How much it made for the year? Like, so Avatar, right? Like, it's like whatever it makes. Let's say it makes $2 billion, which it won't, but let's say it does. Does that count for 2025? Or does it count for 2025 and 2026? I don't know. I don't remember how that works.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah.
Good question.
But I would assume,
Warner Brothers is number 1 according to but Disney dominated the global box office. They topped 6.5 billion in world.
So we don't have overall yet.
Ahead of Warner Brothers Universal.
Okay, that's
global.
That's globally.
That's global, right?
So we don't have the so you got those have to be combined together. So so we don't have those numbers yet. That'll be a story that comes out eventually once they tally all that. Okay. Arago 4512. Did you like Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto? I did. Would you like to see him return as a character but in a Barry storyline? Yes, on both. I did. Yeah. I actually did. I did like what they did with him. I think that it was clearly it was done at a time when they were greenlighting everything, and it was just it was bad timing for when he was put in that show. But I thought he was fantastic in that show.
Yeah. I think he's quietly becoming a damn good actor.
Yeah, me too.
Like there was a Netflix series where he played an Israeli spy, I think, and it was excellent. And then the Quarterone one with Kate Blanchett,
the Trial of the Seven.
Oh yeah, Trial of Chicago 7 as well. Yeah. So and the Disclosure one last year or 2 years ago, it was excellent.
So he's really good. Yeah. It's funny. Speaking of Sacha Baron Cohen, my wife this morning was like, "What's the next movie that you want me to come in and react to?" And I was like, "Well, you still haven't seen Borat." And she's like. And so I would watching that. I actually think that'll get a significant amount of laughs from her.
100%. I think she'll love it. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Vanilla Face? Dr. Zeus 702. Pew was there for one side of Barbenheimer.
Oh, yeah.
Will be there for both sides of Doomsday. Yeah, that's true. # Pewsday. Yeah. I root for her. I like her, man. I do. I think she's.
Oh, you do.
Yeah, I like her.
Hotter than Julia.
Nope. Arago 4512. Thoughts on a new Christian Bale Frankenstein trailer? Haven't watched it, not going to watch it. I'll tell you the reason why. Looks interesting, but wish they would pick a new character other than Frankenstein. There's so many in that world. this is the kind of repeating answer from me is that unless I'm going to do a reaction for it and I don't have to see it, I just walk into. I'm going to see that movie, so I'd rather just. I never watched a trailer for Del Toro's Frankenstein. Just watched it fresh, dug it. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah, I've seen all the trailers. Yeah,
Okay.
and it's called The Bride because
Yes,
it's not
yes,
about Frankenstein.
yes.
It's about the Bride of Frankenstein. It's based
Right.
on the movie from before. So this is not a decision to make another Frankenstein movie. It's they're
Right.
making a Bride movie, and Frankenstein happens to be in it. And
Is this Maggie Gyllenhaal that's directing this?
she's directing it? Yeah,
Okay.
with Jesse in the lead. So I'm going to see
Is
Jesse.
Jessie Buckley in the lead? For
Yeah,
this
she's
one?
the bride. She's the bride. Yeah,
Ooh,
and they're
okay,
releasing it
Bale.
right when the Oscars come out in March.
Oh my goodness! Yes,
That's very
okay.
smart.
I'm pumped for that one.
Yeah.
RC, wish I loved Dune, but I just can't get into it. That's fair.
Yeah.
Totally. I will be watching. I will. No, now I have to figure out though between Ming and Sam who to watch Dune with because neither one of them has seen it.
Why don't you watch it both? With all do a threesome.
Well, it's true. Again, two reasons why.
Why?
Two reasons why I won't do that. One, there's a lot going on in the table, right? That's the small reason. Dude, monetarily, now if they don't do well, and then I'm out editor and two people watching it with me.
That's true.
So it's like, I don't have the luxury of because Real Rejects are crushing it. They're crushing
it. You sound like a studio head. You sound like a studio head.
That's what I'm saying. Real Rejects have like a full-on crew, which they can. They'll put two different people to be able to. And Greg does it brilliantly, where he matches people around. And he has the thing. I don't have the luxury of doing that yet. Eventually, I'd like to, but right now I can't. All right. Arago 4512. New Robin Hood movie with Hugh Jackman. You catch it. I know it's coming out. What's your favorite Robin Hood movie? The Fox one, the Disney Fox one. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Easily my favorite Robin Hood movie.
I don't know. I guess the Costner one, but I guess the original. I guess the original Errol Flynn one, the Adventures of Robin Hood. Yeah, I would say that one.
It's a good one. I'm sure that the Hugh Jackman one is going to be good, and we'll watch it. I just don't like when they mess with the lore stuff. Like, he's not really a good guy. He's kind of a dick, but just the way that the tales get told, people think he's a great guy, but he's really an asshole. It's like, anyway. Tim Sim.
Hey,
as a H-Town sports fan, I say this: defense wins championships. But what good is it if you can't do F all without a competent quarterback? That's what we Texan fans are saying after Stroud's 4 inexcusable interceptions. To which he follows it. That rant out of the way, sad waste of one of the best defense seasons in NFL history. I think there's credible reason for Dune 3 to face Doomsday directly, especially given the recent post-Endgame MCU box office flop. So let's address the football portion first. Go ahead.
Sure. Well, I think there were not 4 inexcusable interceptions. There were 3. The second one went right off the receiver's hands. That's the receiver's fault. Every receiver will tell you, if the ball touches your hands, you should catch it. That's not on the quarterback. So I will absolutely remove that. But yes, that moon ball he threw was ridiculous. And yes, he cost the team the win, but they wouldn't even be in a position to be in the playoffs if it wasn't CJ. So CJ's got to get better. We'll see what happens next season. But I probably would have benched him in the second half. 4 interceptions in one half of playoff football. I think you got to go to your bench. But it went the way it went, unfortunately. They still allowed 3 touchdowns at defense. So
now, as far as the other thing, he says, credible reason for Dune 3 to face Doomsday directly, especially given the recent posting game. I mean, sure, but I don't think you're insinuating that there's a chance in hell that Dune can win. Like, nobody thinks Dune can win. But to go to your point, Tim, where it's like, well, yeah, but enough so we can say we can still sustain box office moving forward, get the IMAX screenings in there, and maybe we'll get some of the fall over from if they're sold out from Doomsday. So that's possible too. But there's if I don't think Tim is saying this, but if anyone actually thinks that Dune can beat Doomsday on opening weekend, they should have their heads checked then.
No, just like The Godfather, right? What does Salazzo say? 10 years ago, could I have gotten to The Godfather like I did? No, but that's what Marvel is right now. A little damaged. Maybe Dune's feeling themselves, and then we'll see what happens though if this stays.
Look, having exclusive IMAX rights for 3 weeks, I get it. I get it. Arago 4512. with regards to the new Rip movie, did you like the director's previous film, Smoking Aces? I like Joe Carnahan. I thought it was a great movie and I loved it. It's funny that you bring that up because you're a big UFC guy. On Wednesday, John, I'm going to air the interview I did. Keith Jardine came in the studio with me.
Nice.
He's great. You know, he's a very successful actor and writer and director now. Also, and he's got something he's got coming in on Sundance that's coming up real soon. He talked about that on the show, but he's also buddies with Carnahan. Carnahan had invited him to the Rip premiere. And we talked about Joe. Were you there when Joe came in to Collider Live?
Yes, I met him, but I wasn't on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I met him. Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah. I like Joe a lot. Very honest guy.
Yeah. I like Cop Shop was the one he did a couple of years ago with Gerard Butler. That's a great watch. Yeah.
Gopal. From you, all right. I learned it from watching you. Only us old folk understand and get that reference. Joey, tonight we've got Baylor versus Punk. Prediction is Dom will cost Finn, which will lead into Baylor injuring Dom enough to write him off TV to heal the injury. Baylor will get the IC title through a tournament. Have you been watching, John?
Not at all.
Oh,
I have no idea that Finn is back in the actual equation with all of this stuff. So
I haven't been watching either, as much, like I said, because
I'll
tune in to Raw and fast forward through to see what the storylines are, and I'll check in from time. When the Royal Rumble's this weekend?
Next weekend, yeah.
Like
I couldn't believe it was this close.
I'm not paying for it. I'm not so I probably won't watch it because it's going to be like I would have watched it. It was on Peacock, but it's on ESPN thing, right?
Yeah, maybe it is this weekend. I don't remember.
Yeah,
because I know it's supposed to be the end of January.
Yeah, I'll be watching through like social media clips and stuff, but I'm not paying. They blew it with that stupid deal. They've basically just traded places with the UFC. UFC now did the smart thing, and now pay-per-views or it's because there's a pay-per-view or not even pay-per-view. There's an event this weekend for UFC, right?
Yeah,
I'll be watching it.
It's going to be on Paramount Plus. Yeah,
first UFC event I'll be watching. In years because
I agree. I'm going to watch it because it's on Paramount Plus. If it was extra like ESPN tried to do with their UFC package, I wouldn't watch it, or WWE does. Yeah, I agree.
No, the WWE deal that they did with ESPN was the stupidest. They damaged their brand tremendously by doing that.
And they're losing money, and they keep trying
massively.
Massively.
That was the stupidest thing they ever did. They should have kept it on Peacock and everything. It was very dumb. If T'Challa is not in Black Panther 3, Coogler will see fandom start to turn in him. I don't agree with that. It's been long enough. Feels like slow torture at this point. Shuri is not it. Well, first of all, from what I heard, and you guys, and I don't know if you've also heard this, I'm pretty confident to say, the Damson Idris is in the movie. That's part one. Part two is that he's playing T'Challa's son, is what I've heard.
Time jump. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that he's going to be the new Panther, but he is T'Challa's son. So, but yes, they're going to eventually. Now, whether or not, I don't know what they're going to leave with Black Panther 3, but they're not. I don't think that they're going to straight out replace with a new T'Challa at all. But but I don't agree with that the fan base will turn on him, especially after the success of Sinners and everything too. They're not turning on him anytime soon. He's a person of the people.
People love Coogler.
They love him. Yeah, they're not going to turn on him for one decision. Mr. Nico 28 Soccer. Hey there, gents. Heading into Disneyland. Help cope with my Bears loss last night. Enjoy your day and much love to you both in this community. It was a heartbreaking weekend in general for most of us. I mean, but I don't think you can complain. And everybody can complain about their heartbreaking, and nobody can complain more than Bills fans right now.
Oh my God, yes, 100%.
And a rightful gripe.
I mean, they got to clarify that, because to me, that's a catch. You catch that ball, you land on the ground, your knees on the ground, the guy's on top of you. That's a catch.
I don't understand how the replay doesn't get it. Yeah, I don't understand how the replay doesn't get that.
Yeah, there's a technicality about surviving the ground.
All right, conspiracy. How about conspiracy theory? What do you think? Fix is in?
No, I don't think the fix is in.
All right,
I don't
care. Arago 4512. I agree. I love James Cameron, but I would love to see other movies he writes and directs besides Avatar. Really liked Avatar 3, but ready to move on. I think a lot of people are feeling that way. Like, I would be bummed to not see more, but I would get it.
Yeah.
Like, I would get it. Like, if you're like, I'm not doing these anymore, I'd be like, I understand. Tim Simp, I said to Roka this last week, and I wonder what's your opinion. If 4 and 5 are happening, should that be hard to stop on Avatar films, given where the economic outlook is going? I'm hopeful 4 and 5 will happen, but there has to be so let me see. If
should that be a hard stop, is what he's saying.
So wait, should after 4 and 5 happen, should be a hard stop.
Yeah.
Well, if they actually do 4 and 5, call it. I just don't think he'd mentally be able to do more than that. 5 movies at that scale. I mean, but I don't think we're gonna get 4 and 5, Tim. I really
Yeah.
don't. I think this is it. I think that was his way of saying. I think he's kind of hoping that it doesn't hit 2 billion.
Yeah, I think he is kind of quietly hoping that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hopeful 4 and 5 will happen too, but I just don't think it's gonna happen. Rashad Green, who best embodied the fighter, The Rock or Sydney? I'm gonna take a crazy stance here, and I'm gonna say Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Because as my wife and I were watching it, because this is The Rock's wheelhouse, right? The Rock is
Right.
a wrestler, is the thing too. And so the transition into an MMA fighter looked believable, 100%. And I thought he was excellent in the role. I think he could have been nominated for some things, maybe some awards, I don't know. But I had no education on, well, Sydney Sweeney in general, on her acting until I saw this. But I didn't realize, as my wife and I were watching this, she watched after me, but she said, "Is she like an athlete?" And I was like, "I think she was," and it turns out she was. But the stance, the way she threw the punch, look. You want a criticism of Julia Roberts? I'll give you one right now. You want a criticism of her, John? I'll give it. Here you go. You've been waiting. There's a movie that she did. What's the second one she did with Richard Gere? Oh man. Oh, Runaway Bride. Runaway Bride. So we watched that not too long ago with my wife, probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
She's punching a punching bag in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
I love her that she never thrown a punch a day in her life. You could tell. Yeah. Sydney Sweeney is throwing bombs and real bombs, and they look like bombs. So I'm going to say Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I just think I agree. I think she had farther to go, so she deserves more credit. And I thought her scenes, listen, I liked her in that movie, and I liked the movie for the most part. And there's more fighting scenes with her than there are with The Rock, I think, in the Smashing Machine. So to me, I think she gets the edge as well. I agree with that.
Roka, you read this next one by default.
Okay. No, don't put me in trouble. This is for you. Don't even make me read this.
But Eclipse wrote it, so and look, I'm white.
I'm not reading this. It's on the screen. That's our responsibility is to put it on the screen.
All right. Eclipse says, "Why do black people have nightmares? Because they killed the ones who had a dream." But this is for him. He's not making it. He's saying that's the reason why, because they took out a very a wonderful human being. True. Seattle Chaos, support for Roka, go Seahawks.
We'll see. They lost Charbonnet today.
Yeah.
Season-end injury.
I know. I don't know it's up for grabs. Tim L. Sim, in my humble opinion, Fire and Water's box office performance is lesser, but not a failure. I'm with you. It's enough for 2 more films, and that's it. Sue me. Hope everyone has a safe and great weekend.
It is not enough.
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough for 2 more films.
1.3 off a $500 million budget, if you include marketing, maybe even 5 to 6. That's not enough.
Here's the only way, and I think Roka and I are both on the same page with this.
It's not an independent movie. This isn't mom and pop getting together to make a film. This is a massive film.
But we're in agreement, though. Let's say this movie tapped out at 1.4, which we would both agree is a disappointment, right?
Yes.
Okay. But let's say that happened at 1.4. Let's call it. That's what it taps out.
Sure.
But James Cameron walks into the meeting the next day and says, "Guys, I'm excited. I got a take for it. I got all this stuff. I got so-and-so attached to it. We got to go with 4. They're not saying no. They're not going to say no to him. That's what I'm saying.
So, give him another chance.
But that goes to the point where he's not doing that.
Yeah.
I think he's done. And that's it.
He just complained about CJ Stroud throwing 4 interceptions, which is a disappointment,
right,
but is also a failure to win the game. So this is, people are, come on.
Picking and choosing.
You're picking and choosing where to use failure or disappointment on.
Dr. Zeus. I really hate the 7 Kingdoms are so short. Dramas have no business being 30 minutes. That's comedy reality time. The Bear says otherwise, even though the Bear says that it's a comedy. It's not a comedy. That is not a comedy. There's comedic moments in it too. There are comedic moments in this. There are just as many comedic moments in this than there are as the Bear.
I would argue the best episode of The Acolyte was the 25-minute episode 5, I think, and that was, again, less than 30 minutes. It was incredible. So,
but I would tell you that the difference with if you told me that an episode of Game of
anything in 30 minutes, go ahead.
But I will tell you that I would be hesitant and skeptical if House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones was 30 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Especially
It's
Game of
different.
Thrones. You can barely tell 3 stories in half an hour. However, this is one condensed story with
a lighter
not a lot.
story.
Yeah, with not a lot of big, huge people. Like I don't like when, and I've said this, when Mandalorian or these other or Marvel shows do 30-minute episodes and just focus on a battle for 8 minutes because you just taken away any of the essence of the character. You get so much essence in one episode of who this guy is, and they continue to do it as it moves forward. So I on this show, I just don't agree with it. And I normally am more of the let's go for longer episodes, but I'm not with you on this one.
I think it's all about how you do it. It's all about execution, like anything, you know.
Yeah. Motorola. Sansa really told Cersei to pull up after she raided some tombs. Geez, Sophie got jacked, and my wife is behind me. Been a good run, everybody. So you've got an issue with Sophie Turner as Lara Croft? I see on your
she's
Twitter.
not a strong actress.
You don't think so?
To me, no. To me, it's like,
Damn.
She's a perfectly fine actress, but not a spectacular actress. And for Lara Croft, I would like to see some, because I don't even think Jolie did that great of a job with it, and I certainly don't think Alicia did. We haven't seen a great Lara Croft. We have live action. We haven't. And
I would like to see Alicia Vikander get a sequel. I would like to see it. All right, we'll see. Maybe she proves us. Maybe proves you wrong. Let's see.
Maybe
Rashad Green, Roken, Timothy Chalamet as Bob Dylan, or Jeremy as Bruce.
Oh, Timothy was so much better. But I liked. I defend the. Bruce
he wasn't the
Springsteen.
problem. He wasn't the problem.
No, but I think Timmy was more Bob Dylan than Jeremy was Bruce. But I like that movie.
Me too. I'm with you. I didn't love it as much as I wanted to.
Yes, agreed.
But I appreciated what it was. But it wasn't what they wanted it to be.
No,
they wanted it to be what Bob Dylan was for Chalamet. They wanted that for him, and it just never got there. Ray got here late, sending support.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. Dr. Zeus, sadly is true. Got to build for the TikTok generation.
True.
Yep, that is true. Jimmy B, 93. What's up, guys? Lately, work has been shite, and the money just isn't worth it anymore. Have you guys ever been fed up with a job? Oh yeah. Have you ever watched any of my old shows that I talk about all the time? How did you know it was time for the next thing? I waited a year too long. That's how I knew. And I got myself in trouble by being an idiot on the air and catching it on Twitter.
Sometimes you stay at the job and get let go, even though you're fed up with the job.
Yeah, you're fed up with the job, and you get caught on camera being an idiot, and then you pay for it. You know, I don't remember if I talked about this. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
I love how we have 50 questions left. You're just droning on. Like, I don't have places to go. What's your next story? What do you got? All
right,
I gotta eat lunch. It's
all right, fine. I figured you want to hang out. You're my buddy. You want to hang out with me?
I
get lost. Fine.
Well, if you do, give me a second. I gotta tell the lady what we're doing. Go ahead.
Rich Broth. Good day from Australia. Love the show and all you guys do.
Thank you, Rich.
Rashad Green. Best display of the torture genius. Pedro as Reed Richards or Edie as Mr. Terrific.
I don't think either one of them were tortured.
I think Pedro more was like, kind of like they almost portrayed him as like kind of autistic a little bit more. Yeah. More than anything else.
I prefer Edie in the performance. Yeah.
RC Tanya Taylor is not a good actress in my opinion. So I didn't love her in One Battle, but I don't know if it was because I don't think she should have won Best Supporting Actress. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And I think that they did a disservice to Chase Infinity by putting her in the Best Actress category.
That's nonsense. She's a supporting actress.
I thought she's good in The Rip, Tanya Teller. My question though, moving forward is because they're similar characters,
right,
but different. Like the one in The Rip is like a good person.
Right.
She's a good cop, and she's a good person, but not much range so far.
Right.
The question is, can she go outside of that range? We'll see.
Yeah. We see, because we all know actors who have a style of acting, and so it's like, well, how much longer can you keep that style going before it becomes repetitive?
Is it just you? Is it just you being able to say the lines well?
Right.
Or is there an actual character to it? Yeah. Rich Broth. What trailers do you think we are seeing during the Super Bowl? Before
Doomsday.
I would have told you were a crazy lunatic 2 months ago. Why in the world would they promote that before Spider-Man? But now I don't think you're that crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let me say that. I don't think you're that crazy for that opinion.
I think Spider-Man, Star Wars. I think Marvel. I think we'll get Doomsday.
Yeah.
Dune. I think we'll get a Dune. At least
Dune this far out?
At least a teaser. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, the Super Bowl's what, in March?
Well, I would check what's coming out, but you're gonna yell at me for stretching out the time. Legend MM600. What's your favorite game last weekend? Mine is the Seahawks. The best game was the Bills and the Broncos, but it's just heartbreaking.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
agreed.
Buster Barnes. Random thoughts. Bone Temple is the best 28 movie. Mercy better than expected. I didn't see that one. That's SmackDown was great. Excited about Mr. Miracle casting news. Hope Judge Dredd is Darkseid. Hope Judge Dredd. Hope Judge is Darkseid. The one I don't know if Bone Temple was the best 28 movie, but it's really good. It's really good.
Okay. I haven't seen Mercy yet.
You're seeing it tonight. Mercy's out already? Mercy's
I don't think it. Maybe he got a screening
on early screening. Yeah. Cali Kid became a new member. Great time to be being a member. Got that live stream coming up soon. Buster Barnes also looks like MOT female role is indeed Maxima. That's the one that we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Jabbar Muhammad. Am I missing something? And or not being Star Wars crowd? To me, 4-6 were mature just as much, right? Yeah, I don't think it's more about just the mature thing. I think there's just more about the essence and how approaching Star Wars. They were just on a different page, perhaps.
Yeah.
Christopher Regaldo. Roka's hard on himself, especially hard on the Outlaw.
The lady outlaw. No, I'm not. She rules our roost, bro.
Prizzy 22212. How insane would it be if Tom got Nicole back for the Days of Thunder sequel?
Oh my God.
Take my money now. Also, is a bigger hog, Marty Supreme or Marty McFly? Probably Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme was pulling some magic.
Odessa. I'll take Odessa Azion over not I guess over Elizabeth Pugh, but maybe. Yeah.
But the Days of Thunder sequel, is that a thing? Is it happening?
Yeah, they've been kicking around because Kaczynski has said he is considering it. I
just combine it with F1. Come on.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Come on. Can 6721. Hello there. Hello there to you. Cali Kid, push comes to shove. What are your favorite performances in 2025? Mine are Timothy Chalamet, Ray Fiennes. Ray Fiennes was great, although that's 2026.
That's 2026. Doesn't count. Doesn't count, Cali Kid.
Ray Fiennes was excellent in Bone Temple. Excellent.
He's always excellent.
Always. But he's jacked too. He's got to be 65 years old? He's jacked.
I know.
Battery. I4 Babu Freak trilogy over a Ray movie. I am not alone. Prizzy 2212. Hey, Kristian, can we do a script exchange? At some point, would love to get your feedback on a few of my stories. Shout out Roka. Peace. Very kind of you. I'm going to say the same thing that I tell other people too. My schedule sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
What I don't like to tell people is like, yeah, sure, you know what's in it, and then I don't get to it. I look like a douche, right? Yeah. Because I've been trying to do things with other people, and I just can't do it right now. But very, very kind of you to even think about that. Michael McKenzie, what is your guys' feeling on the casting of Kratos in the God of War show? It's funny that he is in the greatest war movie of all time, Saving Private Ryan.
I don't know who the guy is, and I never played God of War.
You would know him if you saw his face. But he also voiced Thor in the thing. But from what people are saying is that it's perfect casting. So I'm excited for it. I like that guy. Dr. Zeus 702. You can only see one. Do you go to Dune 3 or Doomsday? If I can only see one ever, or just in the theater that day?
Probably just in the theater that day. Oh well, no, you only see one
ever. Probably gonna have to. I hate to say that. I don't know. That's tough because I know that I'm gonna be watching more Marvel movies and I'll be lost. So I'll probably have to say Doomsday.
Yeah, I have to say Doomsday as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm gonna like Dune 3 better.
Yeah,
but
probably.
Yeah. Prizzy just saw all 3 Avatar movies for the first time. Oh, we're gonna get those thoughts. See what you thought. Arago 4512. How about that Bears versus Rams game? That throw to tie it up into overtime was amazing.
Agreed. Yeah. It was an incredible game.
Holy shit, Cali Kid is coming in real big. Look at this.
That. Thank you.
And then follows it up with this. Holy shit.
That.
How about The Housemaid headed to a $300 million box office? I don't know about that. If it's lucky, they'll tune into 200. I'm not going to go that far. I think 200. I think it'll hit 200. But speaking of which, that was a very super generous major. 2 of them. Thank you, Cali Kid. Brody Bruce, tuned in late. So sorry if you've answered this. Thoughts on the rep? I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. Roke hasn't seen it yet, but I really, really liked it a lot. Yeah. Cat Mom for Jedi. Today's my 25th anniversary. Hey, happy anniversary, Cat Mom.
Congratulations.
She's the best. Happy anniversary. That's really cool. Arago 4512. That 8 primate horror movie trailer looks hilariously bad, but it looks like it'll be a good time. LOL. These piranha type horror movies always surprise me on how well they end up doing because they cost like $33 in a Snickers bar to make.
It's true.
So it's like, so that's why they do well, as long as people see them. Did you see that primate movie?
I have not seen it yet. I have
Okay.
a thing about, I have a thing about a simian revolution. So it's
You get scared about it. So you didn't like the Apes movies?
The Apes movies, I know those are like CGI or people in like costumes, but that ape looked that trailer fucked me up. So I'm like,
okay. 2 left. Here we go.
Okay.
Eric Henderson, Mr. I crap and shits here, had reconstructive foot surgery on Friday. Oh my goodness, 3 to 4 months non-weight bearing. Wow, thanks for putting on an entertaining show. Thank you for watching, and I'm so sorry. Watching. That's horrible. Last one.
Hey,
Mad Sinister. Second to last one. Mad Sinister McCall. No hot dogs for Bone Temple. Enough wieners already. There's a lot. There's definitely some zombie schlong running around the joint.
We're seeing a lot of male nudity lately.
Yeah.
Just even in Night of Seven Kingdoms, homie taking a dump. Like I was like, what the fuck is happening here, man? So yeah.
Mike Joyce and 7. What was the story? Roca stopped you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go. No, it's just I don't know if I may have totally, may have not. Like, so when I left Collider in November 1st of 2019. 19 was when I left. And because Fernandez was very kind to me, where like we had the conversation in October.
What's that?
And
yeah, go ahead.
we had that conversation in October, and I said, look, I'd like to stick it out for a couple more weeks because of the health insurance to carry on. He's like, how about another 30 days? I was like, perfect. So I had 30 days to go from November 1st. And I already, that day that Fernandez and I had that conversation, I went and I already had a meeting set up with Skybound to leave and go and do some stuff. And then I did. And then January 2020 is when I joined Skybound. However, in November of 2018, I was already talking to Skybound, and I was 3 seconds away from leaving Collider way before any of the stupid Galaxy's Edge shit happened and all that stuff. And it would have been, looking back, I should have jumped ship back then, but it was all the Schmodown stuff was taken off and everything too. So I stuck around, but I should have left. That was it. So I was supposed to leave Collider, and it would have been Ellis left 3 months before I did. I would have left 7 months before Ellis, so I would have done that. So anyway, 73, John, pretty good. What are you gonna say?
We got 3 more.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
Prizzy's
yeah, you're right. Sorry. Prizzy, 2212. Can't believe I avoided the Avatar movie. So good. Oh, good. He enjoyed them. Yeah, they're really good. I love them.
They're really good.
Hank Pym. Just saw Begonia. First movie of his that I've liked. Does anyone change up their look more than Jesse Plemons? Jesse Plemons was excellent in that movie. Did you like that movie?
I did. I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I was hoping I'd liked it.
Yeah, me too.
I liked it.
I found it to be predictable.
That's what bothered me.
Yeah, he's hit or miss for me.
Yorgos.
Yes, I liked this one. I loved Poor Things. Loved Poor Things.
Oh yeah, Poor Things great.
And really enjoyed what's the Regal
Lobster?
one? No, I didn't like that movie. The Regal one that he did. Oh shit.
Killing a Sacred Deer.
Nope, didn't like that one either. The freaking one about
the favorite. The favorite.
That's the one I liked.
I like The Lobster. I think it's great.
Most people do. I didn't like that one. Dr. Zeus 702. Simian Uprising or Robot Takeover. Were you more, Roca?
Simian Uprising.
Really? Over what's more realistic?
Bro,
right
getting
now?
beat to death by a fucking
that's terrifying.
No thanks.
But that's terrifying. What worries you more that can actually happen?
I can figure out the robot takeover. The Simian Uprising, I can't tell what's going to happen.
I can't believe how many self-driving cars there are in LA. I can't believe it. When I left, they were like, okay, every couple of cars, everywhere you go.
Hey guys, what's with these self-driving cars?
I mean, come on. Who's really driving them? Is there a computer there? Is there a guy behind the desk? I mean, what's really happening? Make a left, make a right. How do they know what they're doing? I don't know half the time. How do they?
I can't do crowd work with these self-driving cars. There's nobody in the audience.
Right. Joyous Romer, may the force be with you guys. Any word on when the mall trailer will drop? I have no idea.
Probably February, I would imagine. It's coming up soon, right? In June or July. When is it coming out?
I don't know. I have no idea. Prizzy2212. I spoke with John Boyega recently. He said he's down to come back to Star Wars and that he can still swing a saber. He dropped so many cool industry stories. Well, that's cool.
Oh, wow. Is it true? Well, that's great.
It seems so. Maybe so. That's great.
Look, I said it 2 years ago that a source of mine told me he was going to come back.
You did.
So.
I think he'll be back, especially if she's back. And she will be back. And if this Kinberg thing happens, they probably getting the both of them back. All right. John, thanks for sticking around a little later. We got 75. One more shot on your channel.
Yeah, please. YouTube.com/John Rocha says, come on over there, ladies and gentlemen. The John Rocha channel. A lot of fun with Geek Buddies, the Hot Mic, the Jedi Way coming back now. Me doing all the live stuff I do there as well. And don't forget about the Cinephiles. We're dropping the first episode of When Harry Met Sally. We just did our Rob Reiner episode over the weekend. Listen to that as well. Kristian, thanks so much. Happy MLK Day to everybody. Love you madly. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you to John Rocha. Thank you to you guys. Very generous day from you guys on this holiday. 75 questions. As I said, please, if you're watching now or on the replay or any of that stuff too, please subscribe to the Clips channel. We're doing some stuff there. Please subscribe.
Please.
Thank you. Spotify, the sponsors. If you haven't joined a sponsor, I hope you do that. Thanks again. We'll see you on the flip side. I appreciate it. We'll be back here tomorrow with Mike and Roxy. See you soon.
Hey, Willie.
Hey, get out, you.